Pause whatever it is you're doing and instead use this moment to relax, unwind, and indulge. With new Dove Large Promises, silky smooth and 3 times bigger than Dove Silky Smooth Promises. Find your moment of pleasure in dark chocolate peanut butter and milk chocolate caramel. Dove Large Promises.
We are
delicious. Tap the banner to learn more.
Remember the night that we met, back at the party you sat on the bed. You said I'm talented, you said I'm next. My only talent is making you stressed. I know that I'm not at my best. Lately I'm feeling like less. I hope that I see you again. If I don't, then I'll lay it to rest. It's crazy how it goes, left me all alone. I've been trying to move on, all I find are holes. Searching for a pot to go, don't know if I'll ever know how she left me with no damn place to go. I'm okay, I'll be fine. I'm just out of my mind. Long nights with no sleep, thinking about you and me. I'm okay, I'll be fine. I'm just out of my mind. Long nights with no sleep, thinking about you and me. It's been 5 months at your crib, and I ain't paying no rent. We should've just been friends, cause I know that you never meant all the things that you said to me. Froze my heart in uncertainty. Go ahead, hit the club or song. Make sure that you drunk as fuck. Find you another man to love. I'ma show you what you lost. I'ma show you how it feels to realize everything you ever knew and everything you ever had in love is gone. I'm okay, I'll be fine. I'm just out of my mind. Long nights with no sleep, thinking about you and me. I'm okay, I'll be fine. I'm just out of my mind. Long nights with no sleep, thinking about you and me. I guess it's it for real, and if I had another chance, I don't know if I'd take that bet against you with another man. And if I ever saw your face, then I would probably take a glance, but I would never bat an eye because you hate me, that's a fact. Yeah, I think that this is an epiphany. I don't think you really listening. One day you're gonna be missing me. I swear to God that we'll never be frenemies. Y'all bitches be trying to be friends with me. I think they stealing my energy and my DMs and they tempting me. I know that you really resenting me now. I'm okay, I'll be fine. I'm just out of my mind. Long nights with no sleep, thinking about you and me. I'm okay, I'll be fine. I'm just out of my mind. Long nights with no sleep, thinking about you and me.
You said hey, and I said how. You spoke those words, and I broke down. You said why, and I thought, why am I around? And I said when, and you said now. You took my hand and led me out. And I was right in thinking, why are you around? I'd rather take my chances finding California problems. Maybe this
hunting.
I'm seeing a crash course collision. I thought that I'd never miss it. I'll never pay you a visit, my love. 'Cause you said hey, and I said how.
I've been getting paid $1,000 a month, if not more, just from this app on my phone.
Dude,
And I said when, you said now.
I'm so nervous.
How can you be nervous with a beautiful sunset like that?
Because I know it sits underneath it.
Nighttime darkness.
Hey, demons.
Welcome back.
Hate demons.
Hey.
Some more,
Yeah, I can see that.
you know, ghost investigations.
There it is. Ready?
Yeah. You go first. What is that?
This one. We watched the other one last time.
It's like a laugh. Hello?
Sounds like a bird. Or an owl, you know? Like, well, I guess it's a bird.
What is that? That's an owl.
Oh.
What the fuck is that?
Mayflower Hall.
Nice name. Nice placard.
Sure.
My coffee has, like, too much creamer in it today.
Smells
It's
like
not bitter
It
enough.
smells like shit in here.
Yeah, well, I mean, it smells a little musty.
Yeah, that's what all the places that we go to smell like, dust. Oh, that goes back pretty far.
Okay.
I'm gonna lose my mind in here.
I'm getting the vibes. Do you think on any one of these adventures you'll ever truly sort of have a psychic break?
Like a mental breakdown.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, you almost got there in the Sally house.
Well, let's hope that doesn't happen today, huh?
I mean, I'm fingers crossed it does.
This week on BuzzFeed Unsolved, we investigate Pennhurst State School and Hospital as part of our ongoing investigation into the question, are ghosts real? This
Are
is
ghosts
actually now
real?
a Halloween attraction called Pennhurst Asylum.
Makes
and
sense.
As you can see, didn't really change much. It's still very much an abandoned hospital.
This is what happens to all buildings, though, over time, right? You know, when not tended to.
Yeah, this is kind of like a look of what the apocalypse would look like
Yeah.
in
Right.
micro form.
Yeah. I mean, it's really hard to tell too, like in a old building,
Yeah.
like how do you know
There's
it's
some
not
pretty
just the walls
weird
falling
things.
apart? Like what makes it a
Let's hear
ghost?
about it.
Okay, let's get into it. On January 23rd, 1903, Pennhurst State School was commissioned as the Eastern Pennsylvania State Institution for the Feeble-Minded and Epileptic, a place for people with intellectual disabilities and people with epilepsy to live, learn, and be cared
I was watching
for
a
in
TikTok
safe
about this girl, and she said,
By the end, there would eventually
you
be
know,
more than
a lot of
20
people
buildings
complain
in
now
total
because
to
there's
make up
more
the
autistic
sprawling
people and more
campus.
special needs
I get
people
a-
than
a
there ever
vibe
has
here
been
that's sort of
before,
like
but
where
like
Avengers
she
headquarters.
pointed out that
Why would
they've
people
always
back
been
that?
around. It's just you used to
rolling
lock them up in an
grounds,
asylum
different
until they
buildings.
died, so
Seems
nobody
like a
ever
place the
realized
Avengers
they
would
were
live.
around.
Yeah,
And
you're right. I
now,
was scanning
you
around.
know, we
This place
realize that
definitely
that's
screamed
like
high-tech.
savage.
Well,
We got like a couch over there with a couple cockroaches fucking.
I
We
touched
got this
it and my hand
board.
turned black.
Your hand, your fingers are now falling off because you touched a wall. This place definitely Avengers worthy.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the facility quickly fell into disrepair and poor living conditions, catalyzed mainly by the overcrowding, understaffing, and lack of funds. Regardless of their age, all residents of Pennhurst were called children, even though there were many adult residents. In
That's not
1974,
weird or
the
anything.
reported average age was 36 years old, and on average spent 21 years of their life at Pennhurst.
Why did they call them
Yep.
children?
I don't know. I just read that.
Just very derogatory.
Yeah, back in the day, people did not know a lot about mental health. I heard that people who had ADHD or ADD were put in here because
Put them
they-
put them, just lump them all in, throw them over here. I feel like back in the day they might have put you in here.
I mean, I guess if I was saying like I saw a ghost or I saw visions.
Yeah, if you went around town in like 1908 or 1910 saying, I seen ghosts, I see ghosts all the time.
Right.
Can you call the people?
You know where I
and-
saw a lot of ghosts? In this building over here, and then they just slammed the door
Yeah.
and close it up like the Red Wedding.
Yeah, maybe one of your children.
Be one of the children. In 1968, Nearly 60 years after Pennhurst's opening, a documentary series called Suffer the Little Children finally revealed to the public the horrors of the facility. A doctor at the facility who was
what did
actually
you think
named
was gonna
Dr.
happen?
Fear.
If your
people
last
there.
name is Fear and you receive a doctorate, I believe it is your moral responsibility to be a bad person.
Dr. Fear, I'm trying to think of professions you could actually be with that name. You're either going to be a supervillain,
Mad
a pro
scientist.
wrestler, or an evil doctor.
He actually seems like the prime arch nemesis to C.C. Tinsley.
Dr. Fear versus
Yeah.
C.C. Tinsley.
I'd read a serial about that.
Well, we don't know what happened to C.C. Tinsley. Maybe he...
Dr. Fear fucking murked him.
He got murked by Dr. Fear. In the documentary, Dr. Fear admitted to threatening and punishing patients. In one instance, Fear punished a patient by injecting the patient with the most painful injection that would not cause damage.
This guy sounds like a real piece of shit.
He was a piece of shit. The documentary also stated that the largest zoos in the country spent $7.15 each day on each animal, whereas Pennhurst only spent $5.90 per resident per day at the time of the airing.
That seems pretty cheap for animals.
Yeah, and then you look down and you go, oh, what's $5.90? Oh, that's humans.
Right.
Mike Tyson, king of the world. Embrace your villainy. Don't love me no more.
Was that you?
No, that was a noise from over there.
So this was apparently a day room back in the day, or a common room.
Now it appears to have
A pentagram.
some other stuff. This looks like
Some other
medical
stuff.
equipment.
Yeah, it was a hospital back in the day. Oh my god, this room is fucking
Not
horrifying
Luke.
over here.
It's just a room.
My goal here tonight, since this place was such a place of tragedy, is, I don't know, if we could reach out to them, maybe we could help some of them.
Move
You're
on.
just looking for positivity? Is that what
I'm
you're saying?
trying to, while also trying to fight the fact that I'm fucking terrified right now, so.
Hello, spirits. We're here with good vibes. We ask you to let us film you tonight and put you on YouTube.
Is there anybody here right now? There's also a little doll in this bed here. Is that yours? Can you move the doll?
Oh, hello. You ever been to Mexico City? We got a fella who would love to meet you.
Can you move that doll?
It's not very heavy. Can you make her blink or make her head spin around?
Jesus Christ. Let's just start with move. How about that? And then we'll work up from there.
What do you want it to do? Like just get up and start dancing like
No,
the
I don't
WB
want it
frog?
to. No, I want it
You
to.
want the little dollar?
I want
Not
it
the
to flip over.
WB frog.
Oh, my honey.
If it flipped over right now, that would be insane. In 1974, Terry Lee Halderman, a resident at Pennhurst, filed a class action lawsuit against Pennhurst State School and Hospital. While a resident
babe.
at Pennhurst, Halderman reportedly suffered about 40 injuries, including cracked teeth, a fractured finger, and a broken jaw. During that
How's
trial,
work?
the conditions of Pennhurst
Good,
were
I hope.
described and were later undisputed by the Supreme Court. Here's a quote on those conditions. Quote, conditions at Pennhurst are not only dangerous, with the residents often physically abused or drugged by staff members, but inadequate. Indeed, the court found that the physical, intellectual, and emotional skills of some residents have deteriorated at Pennhurst. End quote.
Well, yeah,
Many
because
residents were
not
physically
feeding them
harmed
is
by
not
either
the only
abuse
form
or
of
neglect
neglect.
by the staff, including death. In his autobiography, former resident Roland Johnson described the smell of Pennhurst as a doghouse. Quote, it just smells like
Freaking
feces,
Ben.
rats crawling, roaches crawling all over, feces
Well,
and
I love
pee
you, and
on
I
the
hope you have a
floor,
good day.
flies coming in the windows, end quote.
If I were a fly, I'd be trying to get out.
I know what you mean, but flies also like poop.
They do like poop.
So if flies are trying to get in your house, you're probably not doing it right.
Rave Yelp reviews for flies.
Flies on Yelp, 5 stars. Great poop all around the digs. It's a fucking feast in here, boys.
Some of the best poop I've ever had.
Poop for miles.
They just leave it lying around.
Either way.
You usually have to work for it, but at this place, it's like an old country buffet, but full of poop.
In 1984, the final settlement of Pennhurst versus Halderman called for the closure of Pennhurst, and in 1987, Pennhurst State School and Hospital were mercifully officially shut down. This is only a brief summary of the horrors of Pennhurst State School, in which I've spared details that I found particularly upsetting. I can only imagine the unjust misery and suffering that took place within these walls. As a believer in
Can only
spirits and energy,
imagine.
I believe those who suffered are more likely to remain, and in that respect, I find it highly possible that the poor souls that once stayed here still linger.
That means like everybody
today.
that crossed through
That
this
being
place is a
said,
ghost
let's get
from
into
here.
some of the places that are supposedly the most active, starting with the underground tunnels. At Pennhurst, buildings are actually linked by an underground tunnel system. Down here, there is all kinds of reported activity. A property manager even refused to venture down alone.
This is the tunnel system that's under the entire facility. So this goes from all the buildings, kind of like a spider web.
Yeah.
And as you can see, it isn't present.
I'm not trying to be crass here, but there is a surprising amount of penis art in
Is there?
here. Yeah, well, Ryan.
Oh wow, that's a triumphant penis right there. Look at that.
Very proud of itself.
So throughout this tunnel we have
When you lack
laser grid, and we
artistic
have
skills,
a bunch of motion
you draw
that's going to
penises.
the end of the tunnel. So if anything runs toward us or moves in this tunnel, we're going to see it. This does look like the Twilight Zone.
Yeah. See, now that looks cool. If a ghost did that, that would be fun.
If there's anybody down here who's sad or mad, just make your presence known, move.
Jiggle. Drop a deuce or get off the pot, buddy.
I've been sent by the Flavorverse to find which new Snapple Elements is for you. It's Elements Rain with agave cactus flavor.
That does
That's
not
one
sound good.
succulent. New Snapple Elements. The Flavorverse has spoken.
Jesus Christ, dude.
Pennhurst is so active that there's a book written about the hauntings by a woman named Tamara Lawrence, who worked in the Mayflower building in 2011. She details the 4 known spirits that haunt the second floor of the building. The first is a little boy named Howie, who plays with a Fisher-Price airplane.
Howie, we hear this is your plane if you're here. We also hear you don't like people touching it. If you're here, could you perhaps move the plane?
Howie, if you don't move this plane, I'm gonna touch it with my dirty hands.
His dirty man hands.
I just feel like
I'm
the
gonna
ghosts are
disrespect
sitting there
your
just
favorite
being
toy.
like,
Oh my god, don't
these
phrase it
fucking
that way.
idiots.
It's a toy, Ryan.
Just saying. I mean, it can't get much worse than being in this room. If you truly are
I think the
attracted to
movie
Howie,
The
I'm sorry,
Others with
this
Nicole
room's
Kidman
gross.
is my
Oh God, what are you
favorite
gonna do?
depiction
You have
of
a really
ghosts.
sly, evil smile on
Like-
right now. I don't like it.
It's almost just like
I know you're gonna touch it.
Here we go, Howie.
being on the other side of a
touch your
super
plane.
thin veil and not even knowing that you are a ghost or that there are other people around.
The second ghost is a shadow man who is repeatedly seen in the common room or in the bathroom. One couple claimed to discover that his name is Fisher, a name which can be found on a wall in one of the cells. This shadow man has been caught multiple times on camera by other investigators. Perhaps we'll be lucky enough to do the same.
So, right now we're in the common room. This is where a shadow man is often seen. He's actually been caught in a couple pictures in this room. So I thought we just walk around in the dark, take some pictures, and maybe he'll pop up in some of them.
I have a crazy hunch that your eyes are gonna play tricks on you and you're gonna lose your mind. Okay. I'm gonna douse my light now.
Oh shit. Yep, you're right. You're 100% right.
Okay,
Okay.
start flashing.
Anybody in here with us? Don't mind me. I'm just gonna take your picture. Say cheese. Oh god, this is fucked up. Oh,
That's a chair.
okay.
That's
Down
a
that
chair.
long hall.
Shut up, Shane. Shooting.
You notice how your eyes play tricks on you when it's dark like this?
Firing.
Shadow Man.
Fisher? Is that your name? Are you in here? Oh my god, this is fucking
I
horrifying.
don't like this one bit.
I really don't like this. Is anybody here with us right now?
Ryan has like this deep-seated
What was
fear of
that?
the dark.
What?
What was that? What was that? I heard something in that cell over there.
You heard something?
What if
Sounded
it
like
was a
pebble or
rat?
something. It could have been just like a drop from the ceiling.
Try to
Right.
rationalize it all you want, but you know it's a ghost.
I'm just gonna phase you out right now. Ready? Firing.
Anything behind me?
Dude, there's no fucking head on you.
What? I would have been into that.
The third ghost is the spirit of a little girl who is seen in different spots throughout
It's always
the
little
second
kids,
floor.
bro, but
The
you know,
fourth
they just
ghost-
said the
That's all
average
we
of
got
the
on?
patients
Yeah,
there is 36.
Yeah, that's it. I don't know anything about her.
The fourth ghost is an angry nurse. According to multiple reports, people are stabbed with what feels like a needle. Both of these ghosts have been reported in what Lawrence calls the art room.
Got some new toys here. These are called dowsing rods. So now people use these today to communicate with ghosts. They'll say something like, show me what a yes looks like.
Show me give me a yes.
Usually they'll cross like that, like they just did because I moved my hand.
Yeah, so the hands being involved in this seems, because look, if you give me one,
It's not a toy.
send word to the Shaniacs. We're done. We're disbanding.
I'm gonna take that and shove it right into your neck, watch the blood come out, and laugh and walk away.
And then I'll become a ghost because now they're real.
It's not a toy, kid. You fucking... To remove the possibility of human error,
Yeah.
I'm going to tape these dowsing rods to this. So what's gonna be interesting is it's gotta be kind of even.
At this moment, our audio recorder picks up a distant scream.
It's gotta be kind of even.
It does
I've
sound
seen
almost
people use the
identical
dowsing
to
rods
owl
and, like,
noise that we heard.
honestly,
Oh,
it's
owl
up in the
right
air
there?
for me because
I could put them
subconsciously,
back.
how do you know you're not answering these questions?
Yeah, it could be different birds.
All right. Is anybody in here right now? Could you move those two rods and show us what a yes looks like?
Are they like made of copper or something? Are they supposed to be
Or
like
better yet,
super?
let's just start with, can you move those two rods? I'm not saying that the people here who worked here were all bad people, but there were a couple bad eggs. And there's
I'd say
reports
quite
of
a few
very
of them
angry
were
nurse here
bad
who
eggs,
stabs
like-
people for no reason. So if that's true, move these little rods here. Or if you want us to leave, move these rods here. They are definitively not moving.
Literally.
Hey, nurse. God, bad nurse. Come on, put some needles in me.
Bad
Is
nurse.
there anybody in the room with us right now?
After asking if anybody is in the room, our audio recorder picks up two distant whimpers.
The second one maybe sounds like an owl. I'll give you that.
Maybe.
It could be 1,000 things before it's a ghost.
But
Right.
listen to this one.
I'm not buying it.
Okay, not buying it.
I'm
To
not
close
buying
this
it.
out, let's investigate perhaps the most active floor in the Mayflower building, the third floor. This floor used to serve as dormitories for patients, and the current caretaker has claimed numerous residents still remain. In an effort to allow for easier communication, we'll explore the entire floor individually.
How are you feeling? You know, I'll go in first. And I'm going to... Dude. I
He
am now
just-
walking alone on the third floor. There appear to be a great deal... Oh, Ryan's gonna hate this. Here's a hallway that no one in their right mind would walk down because it has 1,000 doors. I'm going to continue all the way down this hallway. And I think down here, in this sad, scary room, is where I'm going to initiate the ghost box.
The
We use a
ghost
spirit
box.
box. We've used it before, but basically, it's a box that scans through radio channels at a very fast rate.
We definitely want one. They have like an app
Every
on your
2/10
phone
of a
that does
second, a
this,
new channel
and
is gonna be
it's
skipped
just
to
not
it.
the same.
And it's thought by that rapid skipping, it'll produce white noise that spirits can manipulate to talk to us.
Not really hearing anything on this.
And since it's scanning so fast, it's very unlikely that it's radio interference. If we hear something that's 2 words in a row, I'm pretty
Like,
confident that's.
is it
something
traveling
speaking to
so
us.
fast that
I'm
like
here for you.
statistically,
If you're here, maybe sing a
eventually
little
vowels
song
have
for
to
me
be put
on my
together in
voice
the form of
box.
a word, or
Communicate with me in some way.
I don't know. I'm gonna get really sick of this ad.
Embrace your villainy. Don't love me no more.
I'm here.
Right before Shane says I'm here, our audio recorder picks up a distant scream.
I'm here. I'm here. It's an ink blot test for you.
No.
Yeah, it is.
I don't think it is.
You see what you want to see, you hear what you want to hear. I get it. It's fun for you.
No, I'm taking.
You love ghosts.
No,
you
no.
want to believe in them.
I'm taking the anomalies and putting them out there for judgment.
Send them out.
That's
Throw
what I
a
just
parade
did.
for the anomalies.
That's what I just did. And you know what? You're allowed to have a different opinion. I personally think it's evidence, but you know.
That's great.
That's great.
Come on, boys. Ryan's not here right now. It's your time to kill me.
I wish I could approach
It's your
it with
time to
the
kill
boyish
me.
joy that he does. I hate that he's having such a good time in there.
Moaning Myrtle. This looks like your kind of joint.
I really do.
Don't you hear how cocky I am? Wouldn't you like me to just shut the hell up?
Because I know when I go in there, my mind's gonna implode. Oh God.
Keep walking. That's all you can do is keep walking.
Shut up. Hello? Is there anybody in here that wants to talk to me? Oh my God, this is the fucking worst. I don't mean to scare you. Trust me, I am way more scared of you right now than you are of me. In fact, why don't you
You
just
don't know
not
that,
do
Ryan.
anything? How did
You don't
Shane
know
do
that.
this laughing? What the fuck is wrong with this man? Doesn't help that every fucking wall in here is painted with "Get Out." All right, I'm gonna turn on my spirit box. Use this to communicate with me.
He's gonna hate this.
I fucking hate this. What was that? Oh, I got the chills. Who's here with me right now?
The devil.
If like,
Is there anybody here with me?
if any of this ever gets proved to
that?
have any merit, you'll know
You.
the people who
My
are
name's
like
Ryan. Can you say
more
Ryan back?
easily manipulated because the fear vibe, like the literal
my God.
vibration they give off.
No, it's just my mind. It sounded like Ryan.
Ryan's definitely like would be a doorway,
Oh,
and
God,
Shane would be
Enneagram's
like,
everywhere in here for some
I
reason.
still don't believe this.
Who's in here with me? Jeff? How many of you are in here? 4? Well, now you said 3.
Ryan, you gotta walk down that long hallway with all the doors.
I'm walking down the hallway. I was at the end right now.
The one when you walk in immediately to your left.
All right. Oh, shit.
Yeah, that's what you have to walk down. Hurry up. You've got 2 minutes.
Oh, this is horrible. This is so horrible.
This is so horrible.
Who's here with me? Bree? Oh God, it's an old wheelchair. Bree, why are you here? Bree?
All right, Ryan, we're coming up on 7 minutes here.
Fuck yeah, get the fuck out of here. See you later, peace.
How'd it go? You did it. What did... You seem rattled right now.
Yeah, I'm a little rattled because I just spent an entire 7 minutes up there alone as a little ghost antenna, just talking to ghosts.
A little
and
ghost
I didn't enjoy
antenna.
it, and I want to leave now.
That's
so
what
let's
I'm gonna
leave.
refer it to.
Little
It's
ghost
not gonna be
antenna.
doorways anymore.
The
He's just
Ryan
gonna be a little,
Ryan
a little ghost antenna.
Well, it's been real.
Penhurst State School and Hospital.
You got
Unsus.
Saul. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Figure that out.
Yeah, you gotta figure that
Do
out.
you think the place is haunted?
No.
Why don't you ask me? What do you think my
Ryan,
answer's gonna be?
Do you think the place is haunted?
You know what? Not sure,
Oh.
but probably.
Okay.
But probably.
Stop.
Yes.
Based on our experiences tonight, I unfortunately believe that many spirits remain trapped within the walls of this tragic facility. Hopefully I'm wrong.
I mean, you didn't get to talk to any of them,
Whether or
but yeah,
not
maybe
Penhurst
they
State
could be
School
there.
and Hospital is definitively haunted will remain unsolved.
one's next? Hopefully it's a good one. I mean, it doesn't really matter.
Hey Ryan, I like your shirt.
Just change it.
Thanks. Buy it here.
I see you behind them. Ooh, aliens. Alright, I'm here for it.
This week on BuzzFeed Unsolved, we investigate the Roswell incident, either the biggest UFO cover-up of all time, or just the biggest misunderstanding of all time. Either way, 70 years later, we're still debating about it. This is the holy grail of alien stories, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's a buzzword.
The
You hear it all the
Holy
time.
Grail.
I don't know all the gritty details. Desert, government, aliens, etc. All right, let's get into it. Spin a yarn, Tommy Bahama.
The year is 1947, a year that saw an unusually large wave of reported UFO sightings. In the last 6 months of 1947 alone, there were over 300 claims of UFO sightings. Among these is the infamous Roswell incident. Skeptics and believers alike can
What's
agree
the
on
likelihood the government was just experimenting on a bunch of different crap?
of Foster Ranch.
And that's why there were so many sightings. Like, obviously, they're going to say it's a UFO. They're not going to be like, oh, the government must be testing stuff again. No, they're going to be like, what the fuck, an alien?
Remains highly debated.
You're clearly on the skeptic side here already going in, right? That's a dumbass question. Of course you are. You fucking shame. All right.
Don't try to paint me as a...
I'll paint you however I want.
Don't... What?
I'll paint the hell out of you however I want.
You paint me in your free time?
Yeah. They're good.
Oh, Jesus.
Want to see them?
Never.
Let's go through the official timeline, as played out in the media and through official reports from the U.S. Air Force. Sometime before June 14th, a crash occurred on Foster Ranch. On July 4th,
Of course,
a
Gemini
local
season,
ranger
right?
named Matt Brazel visits
Oh,
the
wait.
crash site
Is that
to
Gemini
pick up
or-
some of the debris. On July 7th,
Cancer
Matt Brazel
season.
decides to take some of the debris to local
It's
sheriff
okay, either one of
George
them
Wilcox.
aliens.
Wilcox then contacts Colonel Butch Blanchard at the nearby military base, the Roswell Army Airfield. This Roswell
Yeah, I don't
base
know.
was home to the elite 509th Bombardment Group, which deployed atomic bombs.
I've
at
said
the end
before,
of
I'm a
World War
firm
II.
believer in
Colonel Blanchard
aliens.
alerts his superior,
But
General Roger W.
I don't know
Lee, and
about
orders
Roswell.
Major Jesse Marcel, the 509th intelligence officer, to assess the crash site and recover the materials.
So much bureaucracy here.
I mean, it's the
You
military.
gotta call one guy, he calls a different guy, he calls this guy, or is this guy call that guy, and then that guy.
I mean, that's kinda how it-
muddled in cases
that's-
like these, 'cause you got this
that's
big
kinda the
shitty
point,
chain of
right?
command.
It's like a game of telephone, essentially. But
Yeah.
it's
Right.
the military. It's a ladder structure.
It's a
Of course
game-
it's
Right.
gonna be that way.
Game of
Of course
phones.
it's gonna be that way.
Good, huh?
No, that's terrible.
good.
I'm actually upset right now.
Good.
Colonel Blanchard is briefed by Intelligence Officer Marcel on his crash site visit, and on the morning of July 8th, consequently orders Public Information Officer Lieutenant Walter Hott to issue a press release stating that they believe they have a, quote, flying saucer, end quote, in their possession. Soon after, the Roswell Daily Record's front page ran the headline, quote, Roswell Army Airfield
So
captures flying
difficult
saucer on ranch in Roswell region.
to make like an informed
where they
decision.
reveal no details of, quote, the flying disc, end quote. That same day, the Air Force strangely changes their story. General Ramey orders the crash remains to be taken to him in Fort Worth, Texas, for his own personal inspection.
Yeah, I
He
would
and
be the
his
same
staff,
way. I'd be like, I need
including
to
a
look at it
base
with my
weather
eyes.
officer, identify them as pieces of a weather balloon and issue a subsequent press release with the correction. A photo is taken in Ramey's office of Intelligence Officer Marcel with the crash materials he misidentified.
If you're a higher up and you see this press release and you're like, what the fuck? What is going on? I gotta go clean this up now?
Yeah.
And I knew that we were, pushing our big weather balloons through that area.
Oh, and I see what you're
And
saying.
I'm like, well, they're not gonna believe me unless I bring in
I think we watched that one already.
Pets are raw. Raw curiosity, raw energy. Raw is all.
This week on BuzzFeed Unsolved, we discuss what may be the oldest mystery in the United States, the lost colony of Roanoke. Do you know anything about this one? No.
colonial intrigue.
It's pretty much an entire island of people vanishing, poof, without a trace.
They poof.
Yeah, I guess you could say it that way.
Yeah, we
Excuse
heard
me.
about this in grade school.
You learned
But
about
did
this
they
in grade
vanish?
school?
I went to a very grim grade
Did they
school.
vanish,
That
or
explains a lot. Let's get into it.
were like weather conditions so bad at the time? Did they need to like find somewhere else to
Approximately
be?
120
You know?
settlers left England and sailed to Roanoke Island, off the coast of what is now North Carolina, arriving sometime in July 1587. The governor of the new 1587 Roanoke settlement was John White, an explorer and artist.
Sounds
there
about
were a few small attacks
right.
from local Native Americans within the first month, and the colonists reportedly desperately wanted John White
Not
to
saying it
return
was
to
well
England
deserved, but
and retrieve more supplies for them, such as food, tools, and more people. So on August 25th, 1587, just a month after arriving, White sailed back to England to gather supplies, leaving behind 115 colonists, 87 men, 17 women, and 11 children, including his own daughter,
that sounds
Eleanor White Dare,
horrible.
who had just given birth to a daughter, and White's granddaughter, Virginia Dare, the first baby born in North America to English parents.
Whoa, that's cool.
Yeah, and she's kind of like, at least the name Dare is kind of etched into all of our history. Like there's Dare County.
Yeah, I'm familiar with that. It's such a pain in the ass to have to go back to England all the time.
I've done things where
Right.
I forget something at home when I go to work. I forget my laptop at home sometimes. I gotta drive back. Could you imagine if you went out on a voyage and realized, fuck, forgot.
Food.
Well, looks like I'll hop back in the boat. See you in 3 years.
It took
Right.
3 fucking years?
Unfortunately,
Holy
White's timing
shit.
was poor. England was on the verge of going to war with Spain, which had a particularly strong armada, and he was unable to return to Roanoke for some time. It was not until August of 1590, 3 years later, that White would finally make his way back to the island.
No way, like you
To
can't
his
just be like, oh my god,
bewilderment, when White
115
arrived, he
people
found that
disappeared.
The entire colony had vanished.
But it's been
without
3
a
fucking
trace.
years, bro.
The
Like,
only
come
clue
on.
left
They
behind
moved
was
on.
the
They
word
went somewhere.
Croatoan, carved into a fence post, and crow carved into a tree.
If they had the foresight to write that clue, why not leave more clues?
They didn't have like a fridge that they
Right.
could put a little magnet and a note on.
Well, I
Did they
mean,
have quills?
They obviously had a tree and fence posts. that they
And
could
like
carve
what, you're
into.
gonna
Why not
carve
a
like an
little map?
arrow
They could've
on
just
every tree
added,
on the
like,
way
a
to where the
"See
fuck
you
they're
there."
going?
Something like that. Help them out.
That's why I went to Croatoan.
Be back never.
TTYL.
Right.
See you soon.
You're a fan.
Or not. 'cause we're dead.
If he's sailing back to England to get supplies, and they get surrounded by natives who say, "Hey, you're coming with us," and they go, "Oh, you think so? Let me grab my knife." Oh, we don't have the knives yet. I go, where do you want us to go? What do you want? Oh, you want us to jump in the ocean? You got it.
You
So
got
I'm
it.
saying- I'm doing whatever they
So
tell
you
me.
think they lined them up and walked them themselves into the
I think they
ocean?
said, get
I
in a
don't
single
fucking
file line.
know.
walk
You
in the
don't
ocean."
know. Like
White
it could
then reported
literally
they made
anything is
2
possible.
attempts to sail south about 50 miles to the nearby Croatoan Island, now
Makes
known
sense.
as Hatteras Island, to search for the colonists. However, according to White, both trips were foiled by storms, and he was forced to turn back.
Right,
each
so what's
time.
the likelihood that
Because
they
the
made
boat
it?
White was using was privately owned. He was unable to try looking for a third time. He returned to Europe and moved to Ireland, where he
Okay,
passed away
sure.
in 1593, never knowing what became of his family.
What if they hated him?
What?
What if they just hated him?
The entire colony hated him and decided we're just gonna bounce
Yeah.
and leave without all of the supplies we needed?
It's
mean,
just
they
as
seem like they were
plausible
doing
as
fine.
any of the other things.
No, because they sent him to go get supplies. That was the purpose.
I'm saying
Like
that's
they
their-
sent
that's their thing,
him.
Like,
Like,
yeah, you, better
you
leave for
should
3
probably
days.
You're saying
go
that they
get
faked
supplies.
Starvation?
Yeah.
You think they all
We're doing a bit,
I
yeah.
think they were doing a bit. Good colonial Raz. Just like, he's buying it, he's going to that other island.
Oh my God.
We got him. He left. They
All
all
the-
came back out, had a little pig roast.
The locals are in on it too. They're all like snickering behind them.
We got him good.
Look, he's sailing away.
What an idiot.
To this
Dude.
day, nobody knows for certain the fate of the lost colony of Roanoke. Even more chilling, despite 115 people disappearing, no bodies or signs of a mass grave have ever been found. Historians have theorized on the lost colony in the hundreds of years that have passed, and plenty of people online have pointed to supernatural causes. None
I just
have been
don't
able to
know
provide conclusive evidence.
about
That being said, let's jump into the
I don't know.
theories. The first theory is that the settlers were murdered by a local Native American
Has
tribe.
anybody seen
In
the
fact,
Roanoke
a
season of
previous
American
attempt
Horror
had been
Story?
made by the
That shit
English
is
to
like,
colonize Roanoke
I don't
Island
even know.
years before, between
And I love that
1585
show,
and
but I just don't
1586.
know.
But they soon returned to England after attacks from some of the Native Americans they encountered, as well as a shortage of food. The governor of the first Roanoke colony, Ralph Lane, was not known for his diplomacy with the Native Americans. Lane would actually go on to kill the king of the local tribe, Wendell, in an attempt to prevent the
Him and his
natives
people
from
get whatever
rising
they
up against
deserve.
the colonists.
Not the best diplomat.
No.
Not great negotiation there.
I think this guy was just a little bit of a situation where it's sour grapes. He came, he thought he was going to be welcomed because he's like this English lord.
Yeah.
And when someone doesn't bend the knee, he gets a little pissed off.
If I'm a native and I got people, trampling around, and I'm saying, hey, you guys maybe get out of here. Yeah, I'm getting kind of sick of this. You're bumming me out. Also, you don't own this fucking land.
Right, so get the
maybe
fuck
you
out.
could leave. And they're like, no, we're waiting for our friend. He's gonna bring us blankets. I'd be like, all right, let's kill these dudes. I kill them. I wanted them out of there in the first place. So yeah, I'm gonna take a little broom and a dustpan, mop up their bones, throw them in the ocean.
This prompted Sir
Fucking
Francis
Shane
Drake
with
to
the
come
ocean,
rescue
I
the
swear.
colonists and bring them back to England. As you know, a different set of English colonists would return about a year later, in 1587, and vanish. Though, as mentioned before, no mass graves or any large-scale number of bodies have ever been found that might support the idea
Maybe
that
Shane
over
dug deep
100
enough,
people
or they
had
were
been
thrown in the
murdered.
ocean, like
So
Shane
there was an
said.
attack the month before he left.
Yes.
I mean, I think we're done here. Right?
Why do you think we're done here? There's no...
There's a lot of animosity there.
Yeah, but there's no evidence of that this ever went down.
Where do you want the evidence to be? It can be anywhere. You got a big, wide open wilderness there. You can stuff bones anywhere.
Big,
I mean,
wide
I'm sure
open
they've
wilderness.
excavated it. They've looked for
They've
it.
excavated the whole.
It's an island. It's not like it's big.
They could have moved him off the island.
Right.
Sure, but there still was no signs that there was a mass attack.
Did they drag
Ryan,
the ocean?
what signs are there gonna be?
I guess not.
What
Also,
sign are we looking for
I mean,
here?
It's not like there's forensics teams back then.
Right.
Yeah, I guess
They're
no
not
one's
like, we've
there.
combed the island.
I guess no one's out there.
The year
dust-
is 1600.
They're dusting for prints.
We combed it as best as we could. We looked. I got on top of a large hill. Did this. Didn't see bones. They vanished.
The second theory is that the English settlers joined a nearby friendly Native American tribe and assimilated. One possible Native American ambassador was a man named Manteo, who traveled to England in 1584, but also made a second year-long trip after that between the two Roanoke expeditions. In fact, he sailed back to Roanoke with John White and the new colonists in 1587, spending months together on the journey across the Atlantic. Furthermore, after Manteo was baptized upon his return to Roanoke, John White declared Manteo to be the chief of the Roanoke and Croatoan tribes, whom the English called the Croatan.
Guinness Extra Stout is older than most beers out there. It's very distinctive as an Irish dry stout goes because as you taste it, you get a very dry finish to it. There's a hint of caramel and sweetness. It's very unique.
This guy on the way back to the island is just
You
like...
will be chief. I say so. I'm a white man.
Yeah, well, John says so. Then let's set it up. There's your crown. There's your chair.
What a piece of shit.
However, Manteo was only from the Croatan tribe, not the Roanoke tribe. He could not control them, and so he ended up going back to Croatoan Island with his people, possibly returning at some point to Roanoke to take the colonists.
So
with
some
him
white
to
man rolled in and
Croatoan
was like,
Island.
you know what? I like you the best. You gonna be in charge of them
54
and them,
Croatan Native
and
Americans
just
petitioned
was like,
Congress for
this
aid,
is how it is.
describing themselves as a remnant of White's lost colony. A few months later,
Hey, Uber.
Technological Bureau responded writing, quote, "It is thought that traces of white blood could be discovered among the Indians, some among they having gray eyes. It is probable that the greater number of the colonists were killed, but it was quite
Thank
in
you, I
keeping with
appreciate
Indian
it.
usages that a greater or less number, especially women and children, should have been made captive and subsequently
You hanging out,
incorporated
Uber, or are you
into the
just gonna
tribe."
lurk?
End quote. In 2015, archaeologists found a series
Appreciate
of
it.
objects of European origin on Hatteras Island. where the Croatan tribe resided. This included broken bowls from England, the hilt
I
of
gotta
an
say,
iron
this is
rapier
definitely
sword,
one of my.
and
Oh, you're
a
at
writing
work.
tablet made of slate.
That's what's
that
up.
may
I
still
appreciate
have
the lurk,
letter
though.
M printed on it, and aglets.
Yeah, the
sword
Croatoan
is of a type used in
It's
England
just,
in the
it's probably one of my
16th
least
century,
favorite stories
and the
because I
hilt
feel
of
like
it
this is
would
the
have
most
belonged to an
explainable.
Englishman of high standing. The writing tablet would have been used by educated upper-class Europeans. Aglets are
Educated.
small copper tubes used before the 17th century to secure wool fibers. Therefore, these findings would seem to point to the presence of colonists of roughly the same time period and class as the people of Roanoke. However, most of the European finds on Hatteras Island were among other objects that date back to the 17th century, about 100 years after the disappearance of the Roanoke colony. Last but not least,
People
this
moved
theory
from one
could
place
explain the
to
carving
another,
Croatoan
like,
that the
nothing
settlers
special
left
about it.
behind, perhaps as a clue to their whereabouts.
So John White didn't look for them on this new island.
He tried to, but then the storm
failed.
But
they
so he
kinda chilled
didn't.
there
So
for
he
a while,
didn't
and then eventually
get
were
there.
like,
Like
you know,
that's where they
hey,
were,
I heard
obviously.
other people are moving in over, a couple states over. Near Philly. We're gonna go check that out. Get
Possibly.
some cheese steaks.
Which brings us to our third theory, that the lost colonists didn't move to Croatoan, but instead moved inland. If you'll recall, John White, the governor of Roanoke, was also an artist. He was also part of the original failed Roanoke expedition, and between 1585 and 1593, he created a detailed watercolor map titled, quote, La Virginie Parse, end quote, that shows the North Carolina coast and includes both Roanoke and Croatoan Island, which are colored red. The cartography of the map is thought to be extremely accurate, described by museum experts as, quote, the most careful, detailed piece of cartography for any part of North America to be made in the 16th century, end quote. And when compared to
Believable.
modern satellite imagery of the same area, the only differences in the map are the naturally changing shapes of the coastline.
Yeah, this guy wasn't looking at Google Earth. He was like, I don't know how you even do that. I guess I'm not.
How do you do it?
I don't know anything about cartography. I'm
You
not a
don't. You
cartographer.
absolutely
Well, neither
do
do
not.
you.
Well,
so,
yeah.
I think if you told me to make a map of Hollywood right now, I would have a hard time doing it.
Yeah,
Sometimes,
absolutely.
if I'm figuring out how I want to rearrange furniture, I'll make a little map of my room.
But I feel like
And
also
then you're like, oh, I didn't even include
at
the
that
closet.
at that
But
point,
there's a
other than like
closet.
hunting and
I can't even map my apartment.
I mean, like
did
he
it?
has
You-
time on
you
his
never done
hands.
that?
He had
You
time
make
on his
maps
hands
of
to
your
make a
room?
map.
I think if we had a map off, I would win.
I'd be devastated.
At a glance, this seemed like nothing more than a map, but upon closer inspection, this map was revealed to perhaps hide secrets that seemed straight out of the film National Treasure.
I was gonna say.
Let's hear it.
I knew you would like a Nick Cage reference.
Let's
it's one
hear
of Nick
it.
Cage's best performances.
That
Oh,
stinks.
hands
Okay,
down.
great.
No, I mean it's great. Okay, it's
In
not maybe not best
2012,
performances,
a
but that movie is
nonprofit
a
organization
classic.
called the First Colony Foundation requested that the British Museum re-examine two small patches on the map. Using patches to cover mistakes or damage was a common technique in 16th century map making, because maps took so much time and work to create that starting over wasn't a viable option. Using
Right.
X-ray spectroscopy, infrared light, and other imaging techniques, the British Museum was able to determine that the smaller patch was covering a four-pointed star, outlined in blue and filled in with red. According to the British Museum's report, quote, while the detailed interpretation of this symbol is beyond the scope of the study and is best left to experts in the field, it seems certain to represent a fort or fortification, end quote. In other words, the star may show the location of a fort inland from Roanoke Island on the western side of Albemarle Sound, where the colonists could have resettled.
He covered it up, and they found it by using light. And now, here, I'll demonstrate this. I actually prepared this for you. This is the map, right?
Yeah, I know how light works.
Yeah, that's the map.
Yeah, you put a light on
Yeah,
it.
look how dope this is. Just a little map, and
I
you
know
can see the
what
star.
light looks
It's
like
so
when you
cool.
shine it through a piece of paper.
But like, I'm just saying, it's freaking
You
awesome.
didn't prepare enough to put a star on there?
Dude,
Oh, I actually couldn't see it. There you go.
Now you can see
yeah,
the star.
yeah.
It's pretty good.
That's good.
you
Good
didn't
work.
prepare enough that you
Further
could put
adding
a
to the
star on
mystery,
there.
when examined closely, it was discovered that there are actually light markings of this possible fort on top of the patch as well. The British Museum's report posits the markings faded over time, but it also proposes, quote, one other possible, if rather romantic explanation is that these lines could reflect the use of an invisible ink an ink that would only be revealed when treated in some way, usually by applying heat. End quote. As demonstrated in the film National Treasure, these invisible markings could be accomplished by using milk or lemon juice.
Great, I'm on board.
I will say this.
What?
I tend to lean that it's invisible ink, mainly because why did they cover it up with a patch only to write on top of it again the same exact thing?
Right. Like he was like, I'll put this here.
Maybe it was
Oh,
like
shit.
crooked,
Maybe I
you
don't
know?
want people to know about this. Patch it up. Maybe I want some people to know about this. Squeeze a lemon.
Then he gets
milk
to
a cow.
And then he gets to Nick Cajun.
Yeah.
If this fort was indeed intended to be hidden, why the secrecy? Some speculate White could have wanted to
I feel
hide
like
the
we put
colony's
so much,
location from the English court, which may have contained spies.
We just like
Whatever the
create
marks
so much
indicate,
more than it
they
probably was. It was
believe
probably
this
so
evidence
simple of an
supports the idea
explanation.
that the settlers could
He's
have
like,
left
yeah, well, it didn't
Roanoke
have straight
Island
lines. I didn't
for
like the
this
way it looked, so I
inland
covered
location.
it up.
Interestingly, John White himself reportedly made an oblique reference to a location 50 miles inland from Roanoke Island in his account of what happened when he returned. Excavations on this site have turned up evidence of Europeans, including Surrey Hampshire borderware, a type of ceramics that was discontinued soon after Jamestown in 1624, and aglets, the aforementioned copper tube used before the early 17th century to secure wool fibers. This is the best indication of tying the location to Roanoke colonists, though these items cannot, without a doubt, be dated to the same exact time frame. Even if it's eventually confirmed that the colonists moved inland or to Croatoan Island, many possible unanswerable questions remain, such as why did they leave Roanoke Island, and what happened to them afterward?
I don't know, it's cold,
Since
there's no food or
definitive
supplies.
existence of any of the 115
Food's
lost
probably
colonists
scarce out there,
was documented
like,
after August 25th,
hunting-wise.
1587. These
Got
questions have
115
led some to
freaking
point
people to
to
feed.
supernatural causes.
No.
For all you know, it's like a
I'm just
mass
embracing
like,
myself
murder.
for whatever stupid.
Whatever truth comes out here?
Don't. No.
Is that what you're scared of?
Not what I'm expecting. I mean, once you get through the stuff that makes sense, you tend to land on aliens.
Which brings us to our fourth theory, that the colonist disappearance was an instance of mass abduction by aliens.
Dude.
Some believe aliens would explain why the colonists' bodies were never discovered. And if Croatoan was in fact a clue to where they were going, then why did the colonists not offer any other substantial clues, such as a note or a map? Perhaps because they left the island in haste and not on their own volition. And while I'm going off the deep end, let me end
At
this
least he knows
theory
he's
with
going
one
off the
last
deep end.
point. What if the hidden symbol on the map is not in fact a fort, but rather a craft to signify a landing spot?
Right.
Obviously, if this were true, it would absolutely be something that would be hidden.
Mass abduction. Maybe they all lined up in a row and just got in the tractor beam one at a time.
Yeah.
It's like when you
Yeah.
go to the bank and they
Volunteers,
just,
you
those
know?
little chutes. It's just people lining up to get
Oh,
in
yeah,
that
just going
pneumatic
like a-
tube.
Just sucked up into the tube. Yeah.
Without skilled trade professionals, many of the
That's
things we
definitely
do
what
every
it
day would
was.
be impossible. UTI is making more than 50.
That's a knowledge bomb right there.
Yeah,
that's not a
definitely.
I just
Definitely.
did a airstrike. I did a flyover. You're down there going, you really walked into the ocean, and I dropped a bomb right on top of your big stupid head. And now you're startled by the truth. You're
I think
dazed.
you have
There's-
altitude sickness.
There's stars away from around your eyes.
There's no stars here. I think you're insane.
No. Don't you think that's pretty
No.
cool? That
No.
could in fact be a sign, like a crop circle?
Yeah, but again, if you're already stressed out that these people wrote on a tree something without any context, why is he not going to write on the map, hey, we saw something weird here, instead of just putting a strange little symbol?
Because maybe they assimilated with the alien culture, and it's much better there.
No.
They're on the prairies and fields of alien landscape, eating little alien berries,
Yeah.
eating alien
Little
popcorn with
alien
half
berries.
kids and half human.
You're hearing yourself saying these things right now.
Out
You're-
loud,
you're
right, like-
committing to this. This is what you want to be known as.
Shockingly, aliens is not the most outlandish theory.
Wait, wait, hang on. It didn't even occur. I didn't even hear the words that you were saying when you said brings us to our next theory, because I thought that was as dumb as it was going to get.
I told you, you have no idea where this is going.
And with that,
Dude,
we have our
when you have
fifth
so
theory,
little to go
that
off
the
of, you
lost
can make up
colony
any
of
theory you
Roanoke
want.
disappeared due to a
Like,
zombie plague.
literally, you can make up any. Oh, god damn it. Not zombies, my least favorite genre of horror.
I got some stuff here.
Read it.
I got
A
some
researcher
stuff
named
here.
Andre Freeman from the Zombie Research Society
Oh,
believes
Jesus.
zombies would explain the swift disappearance. Quote, a sudden undead plague sweeping through the unprepared colony would quickly become a horrific,
For all you know, it
violent
was witches.
beast, leaving not a single man, woman, or child alive. End quote. Roanoke was, after all, an island, so it would conceivably contain the infection to the confines of the shoreline. Before you tune out, Harvard archaeologist Lawrence Steger claims he actually discovered evidence that would suggest mass cannibalism on Roanoke.
That makes the most
Granted,
sense.
Roanoke
They were
was
starving to
experiencing
death.
the most extreme drought in the area in 800 years. So some would say this evidence points to the fact that colonists turned to plain old cannibalism rather than the Walking Dead.
You think that's
Extremely
maybe
more
likely?
plausible.
Maybe. What if this is the only case of zombies ever, and because it was in an island, it was contained, so therefore it would never happen again?
What if it's not? There's nothing.
There was
There's
that bath
nothing.
salts thing where someone
There's
thought that guy
nothing.
was a
He
zombie.
was alive.
Yeah,
He had a
this-
beating heart.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
were popping him with bullets, and he was just like taking them. He was,
But
he
he's
was
still
on drugs,
alive.
he was getting peppered. He was like, "Feed
Right.
me more bullets." Yeah.
In the end, the mystery of Roanoke continues to baffle. Did they simply relocate, perhaps joining a neighboring tribe?
Relocation
due
or
to tensions with the
cannibalism is
locals?
like
Or
top of the
does
list.
the answer lie beyond our comprehension? The true fate
Aliens,
of the legendary
zombies.
lost colony of
Cannot.
Roanoke
I
remains
cannot back that up.
unsolved.
Yeah, still my least favorite story, I would say. It's like a million plausible versus, zombies.
Hey Ryan, I like your shirt.
Thanks, I like yours too.
Thanks. Buy it here.
Hey there, demons.
Where we going, big guy?
London.
Looks like Shane's driving to the hotel. Wait, he's not.
Okay, I'm gonna take a quick break before we get too deep into this one.
historic Viaduct Tavern.
Incredible floral display out here.
Yeah, impressive architecture. Kind of strange that there's something a little more sinister than maybe lurks beneath.
So poetic.
So
Well,
poetic.
Let's go.
Grab a pint.
This week on BuzzFeed Unsolved, we investigate Viaduct Tavern in London, England, as part of our ongoing investigation into the question, are ghosts real? It would be foolish to come all the way down to London and not investigate a pub. So here we are at this pub with some very interesting history, I might say.
Let it flow.
What do you mean by that?
The history and the ale.
I thought you were talking about the ale. I'm talking about that. Yeah, that being said, why don't we pour ourselves a cold one?
Oh, okay. Off to the races.
In 1869, the Holborn Viaduct was erected in London, England, and was considered a feat of engineering at the time. Viaduct Tavern was opened later that same year, according to the tavern's own history. Nestled between many historic locations in a bustling area of London, Viaduct Tavern is plenty historic in its own right. The tavern originally opened as one of London's many gin palaces, and is the last surviving gin palace from the Victorian era you can find in London.
Gin palace?
Yeah.
It's a gin. They just called it a gin palace.
They were very common back in the day. I'm about to get into it.
People loved gin for a long time.
You'll see why they love gin. There's a reason why.
Gin was popular among poor Londoners due to the fact that legislation in the 19th century caused gin to be cheaper than beer. Gin palaces were designed to be as opulent as could be, with rose and gold details, large windows, and gas lamps illuminating the palace. The tavern had a diverse clientele, including the working
Dangerous
class,
though, that
lawyers,
blood alcohol
and
level
government
so high in
officials,
there, just like
as well as criminals due to the nearby
combustion.
prisons. A cashier's booth where the landlady would exchange cash for gin tokens is still available for viewing. But before we go over there, let's have another pint.
That's right. No, the more liquor you have in you, the easier it is to talk to ghosts.
I'm not scared of this landlady. Alright. Yeah. Oh shit.
Good luck.
Alright. If there's anybody in here.
So
with me
beautiful
right
in
now,
there. How can you be frightened?
Can you say something? Perhaps the old landlady who exchanged gin tokens because you didn't trust your staff? Did you say something? Oh god damn it, my light just fucking hurt. I just
Give me
replaced
gin.
batteries.
I want my Jane.
Shut up.
Probably just push the button, Ryan. Calm
I'll
down.
give you 1 minute to talk. Here we go. Oh shit, my fucking light keeps turning. I just replaced the fucking. Oh god damn it. Well, there we go. Is there anybody in here with me right now?
Gin, man.
Ignore my tall, idiotic
I
counterpart.
need me gin.
It'd be nice to those
Alright,
windows
30
shade.
seconds. If you could not turn my light out again, god fucking damn it. And I'm out. I'm out of here.
Peace. Another historical artifact is a hole in a painting on the wall. It's believed that this hole was made by an off-duty soldier during World War I. The soldier may have helped himself to one too many gin drinks, and the hole was the result of a bullet going through the painting.
As you can see, this painting is left over from the Gin Palace era. And there's the hole. Actually, let me just examine that a little bit.
Examine the hole. Oh, that is prominent. That's a prominent hole.
It does look like a bullet. Oh, there is a ceiling spot right there. You can see it.
And then up here.
Yeah, it makes sense.
So,
Thank you,
the
Shane.
back of this lovely woman in a blue dress.
You almost startled me with your realistic gunfire.
I know.
noises.
This is like a Sam Peckinpah movie.
Why don't you
Is
reach
that
out to the soldier?
blue
who
or
shot
green
you?
or?
There's a smoother way to do this. Oh, should I sit next to you?
Yeah.
The
got
struggle is real.
Whoever put a hole in this painting.
Oh, I doubt
you
he's hanging
realize
out
that was
there
extremely
still.
dangerous, and you could have probably killed somebody inside this bar.
He doesn't care. He was
I'm
full of
asking-
gin.
I'm talking to him.
Oh, you didn't care you were full of gin, right?
We're gonna give you.
Governor's let you out because of the coronavirus. What the hell's the coronavirus?
You're living under my roof. You'll have to join my crew.
I took the liberty of writing up a list of bad people. We're just taking the money. I'm grabbing it from the back of the stack. You'll never know.
Oh, this is good. That's gonna be good.
1 minute to explain yourself.
What do you expect me to hear on this tape? Like, well, see, here's the thing.
What had happened was.
Hey! Come on! Speak up! Do ghost stuff!
The bar is also said to be haunted by a rather thirsty ghost who steals people's drinks when they aren't paying attention.
Come on, move it.
Cheap bastard.
This is, I feel like this is very representative of this entire series.
If there's a ghost in here, can you move our drinks?
Maybe he doesn't
Oh,
like what
look
you're
at this
drinking.
painting over here. I'm not.
Oh, I see
I'm
what we're
kinda-
doing.
Oh, look at the painting over there. Wow.
Our
It
backs
really-
are certainly turned.
It'd be a shame if someone did something to my drink.
What's interesting is when you look at this painting, you can't see the beer that you're drinking behind you.
No reflection at all. Perfect opportunity for someone who calls himself.
Okay, let's turn around in 3, 2, 1. Okay, so we. Is that it?
No.
End of the series?
That's a very hard thing to ask for. Ghosts, like I've said this to you a million times, ghosts are basically energy. And for them to manifest that in a physical manner, it takes a lot of energy. When there's such a small fuel gauge to build from, it's going to be very hard for them to take a sip of a cold one.
Have a drink. I know you need it. It's been a rough season for the Bugars.
Aside
Just
from
drink
its
it.
rowdy history as a gin palace, this bar
Dude, you
may
see
be
this guy
haunted
right
for
here?
much
Like, what is
darker
that guy?
reasons. As mentioned before, Viaduct Tavern is nestled between many historic locations. Just a few feet north of Viaduct Tavern on Giltspur Street stood Giltspur Street Compter, a debtor's prison that was demolished in 1854. Across Newgate Street loomed the notoriously dreadful Newgate Jail. Living conditions were horrific inside Newgate, with some prisoners sleeping on the floor, while more nefarious criminals were locked in cells underground. As a result of these horrendous conditions,
Seems like a pretty common
sickness
theme of
and disease
prison
ran
100 years
rampant
ago,
throughout the
200 years
facility.
ago.
I assume most
You
prisons
know?
in the 1800s weren't 4-star.
Thank you.
Not a lot of codes to be held there.
No.
Right.
Located just outside the doors of Viaduct Tavern was the former gallows of Newgate Jail, where public executions were held at 8 o'clock in the morning as the bells of the nearby St.
Bright and early.
Church rang. Executions became sort of a morbid social event, with
Sounds about
crowds
right.
of rowdy and drunk people gathering to watch as a form of entertainment or fascination. Some people would even arrive
Yep.
the night before to ensure a good view. In
What is this
fact,
fucking Best
one
Buy
pub
on
that still stands today
Black
across
Friday
the
or what?
street from Viaduct, called Magpie and Stump, would have viewing rooms that people could rent out, and even offered an execution breakfast.
I love it. I love
Okay.
everything about it.
I knew you would.
I
knew you
really
would enjoy
do.
that. Holy
I really do love it.
Too much. A little bit, maybe.
Breakfast. It's like going to Disneyland. You know how people in Disneyland get like
Yeah.
a little restaurant?
Just
seat
like
right by us
Disneyland,
where you see
Shane.
the parade? Yeah. This is like that, but you watch a man's neck break.
Okay. So this spot right here in particular, this fountain is said to be the former site of the gallows where they had the public executions.
Makes sense.
Uh,
Water
it's
is
not confirmed
very.
that this is the actual site, but many people believe it to be. Some place it
Yeah,
kind
like
of in
flow.
the street here. Either way, you can see the Viaduct Tavern right there. If
Clear as day.
whatever that building used to be, if there was a building, in fact, it would have a great view of, you know,
All the people dying.
A
Newgate
great view.
Prison, right there. Giltspur Street Compter, right there. All of them were on a collision course to our old friend Viaduct Tavern.
We should head back in there probably and drink. This has been fun. I love the history.
Well, we can't really do an EVP here because
That's
there's a
fine.
bunch of cars and shit.
We'll be okay.
Is there anybody here?
Nope. We should go get more gin.
Is there anybody here?
Let's go get a beer. Come on.
Let's visit the
Shane
two
is
most
committed
active
to
areas
drinking.
of the building, starting with the upstairs loft. In 1982, the daughter of the landlord was reading the paper one Sunday afternoon in the upstairs loft. As she was sitting on the couch, she reportedly heard footsteps coming quickly up the stairs. The door of the room swung open, and the newspaper was grabbed out of her hands and thrown on the floor. The door swung shut, and she could hear footsteps descending the stairs. Afterward, the landlord's daughter searched the pub and couldn't find anyone around. In 1999, two electricians
What is
were
the
working
motive
upstairs at
of
the
this
tavern
ghost?
when one claimed he felt a tap on his shoulder without a sign of anyone. A few minutes after this odd experience, the two reportedly witnessed a roll of carpeting rise into the air and fall back to the floor. Some believe that a murdered prostitute is responsible for these strange occurrences. Regardless of the source, it would seem
I'm
that
sure
there
there
is
were so many
indeed a
murdered
poltergeist
prostitutes
of
in that
sorts
specific
lurking in the
area.
loft above the tavern.
Why does one get to stay and the others don't, you know, like...
Down here, this is sparkly. It's a sparkly fucking thing.
Oh, from the old days of the Gin Palace. It's
Ornate. Stairs are a little wonky.
I think you're just drunk.
Nope. These stairs are wonky.
So right now we're in the upstairs loft. We have motion lights that are triangulating our position right now, just in case something moves up here, because things move up here all the time, like carpets and newspapers.
You're still going for these things.
I want some of those too. Some motion lights.
If there's anything up here with us right now, there's lots of things to move. Can you move something for us? We were downstairs, we had a couple pints, we've been having a good time. Why don't you join in the fun?
Go on. Go on then. Is Santa Claus here, maybe?
Not Santa Claus.
Is there anything here right now? Can you say something? Can you move something? There's a chandelier above us. Can you move that? Stop that.
He's like, shut
Well,
the fuck up.
that's that.
After I say, well, that's that, our audio recorder picks up a voice responding, no.
That's that. That's that.
Throwing in the towel, huh?
I swear it's his flashlight.
Oh, okay.
Him pulling his flashlight off the table.
Race villainy. Don't love me no more.
Haunted part of the building is undoubtedly the tavern's cellar. In the 1980s, a landlord was in the cellar when the lights suddenly went out. The cellar door slammed shut behind him, and he then heard, quote, "There's just us two down here," end quote.
We're going to the cellar.
Alright. Don't fall down these stairs.
Oh, that's a smell.
The Viaduct Tavern, go.
It's jail, you idiot.
Jail? Who spells it that way?
That's how they used to spell it back in Old English times.
You can end up in jail.
J-O.
I
Yeah,
feel
that
like
makes
my
sense.
bravery is gonna stop at this point. Oh, it is cold in here.
Brisk, baby. So where are we going?
Well,
We're in
So-
a-
I mean, yeah.
This is the cellar door, or that's the cellar door that we were just at. This is where the landlord had the door closed in them.
It's a heavy door.
Okay, let's do this. Let's see.
You want to do a door test?
Let's do a door test.
Boy, that door. Yeah, I can't imagine how that door could close by itself. That's a real mystery.
Alright.
Some paranormal experts believe that running water tends to carry energy with it, and therefore catalyze paranormal activity. And this is exacerbated by underground sources of water.
On the list of
One the
things
rooms
that
in
are
the cellar
plausible,
flooded frequently
water
until
is
they
a
finally
conductor of
realized
energy.
That there was an underground stream below the cellar.
In this door right here, this is where the room was constantly flooding. And as I was saying before, underground sources of water may conduct some energy.
A little trouble with that door there?
Shut up. Oh wait, this is the wrong room. Okay. All right. Sorry. This room. Let's do that again.
So this door then.
So this door then.
It's because they found in here, in this back room, there was actually a valve. This is not it either.
Right.
Maybe it wasn't here.
Okay, let's go back into this door then.
Shut up. Oh yes, it was in this room. Oh, this room does feel a little weird actually.
I swear, it's like psychosomatic for him.
Get mad vibes in there.
Well, if you look right there, there's a hatch.
Yeah, where's that go?
That's the river underground.
Oh, you can hear it.
We should reach out here.
Oh, sure.
Let's do spirit box section. Maybe this will help you talk to us. Can you say where you're at? Can you say what prison you're in?
This is fucking stupid.
It's fucking stupid. You need another beer, Shane.
That sound. Okay, you're gonna think this is stupid, but that sounded like Compter. Look at his face. It sounded like Compter. I'm not gonna lie, it did. You know what? Let's do this individually. In the cells.
Yeah.
The most famous part of this cellar, and the tavern in general, is the cell room. It's long been part of the tavern's lore that the cells located in this cellar are the last remaining cells of the former Newgate jail across the street. However, historical records don't seem to indicate that. The tavern itself claims that the cells were associated with the Giltspur Street Compter, located just next door. Some believe the cellar cells are merely a storage space for the pub. Regardless, these cells are definitely wedged between two famous London prisons, and are reportedly the most active part of the tavern, so there's only one way to find out.
Well, in you go.
Okay, thanks for all these. Can you close the door behind you? Okay.
Get your big ass legs in there.
Here I am. Sort of defeats the point because I can't really see anything. Sure is dark in here. If there's a spirit in here, maybe someone who wants to come out and play, I'll give you 3 minutes and you can chat me up, as you like to say in this country. Ghosts, ghosts. Make it stink. Look, I'm gonna level with the ghosts. It's been a really rough season for Ryan Bergara. And all his little followers.
Such a good friend. Such a good friend.
Ghosts.
Maybe you should shut your fat mouth for the last 30 seconds.
Okay.
Dang, Ryan.
Ghosts aren't real.
Alright, time to move on to your old friend Spirit Box.
I love the spirit box. Alright, ghouly ghouls. Let's do something fun. I got your little speaker cracking here, so I'm gonna ask you some questions. I'll ask you to respond. Do whatever you can. Hi, my name is Shane. Can you say my name? No. So that's a big no on that one. Can you say Ryan's name? Do you hate the spirit box as much as I do?
They probably fucking do.
Also nothing. Hearing nothing. A lot of nothing.
You're free to come out, you big lummox. Get out of here. What'd you think? Want to turn that off?
Yeah, I bet that thing's annoying as fuck.
This has been a huge waste of time. You got this?
I think. I'm just gonna keep telling myself these weren't real jail cells, but they may have been. Who knows?
Before you go in, scale of 1 to 10. 10 being I'm about to poop myself. 1 being I got it, bro. Where you at?
About like a 7 or 8. Well, I haven't even got the door closed yet.
All right.
Oh my god. Oh.
We just have fun here, you know.
Oh fuck. Hello? Oh god, I
so
really don't like this.
Too bad.
Is there anybody in here with me?
I can't wait to do this stuff myself.
Is there anybody in here with me? Alright. I'm gonna use something that you can maybe use the energy from to maybe talk to me, so it's gonna be loud at first. Here we go.
I feel like Ryan
Use
always
this to
wants to
talk
hear
to me.
something, so he does. And Shane's like,
Is
all
anybody
right,
here with that?
absolutely
Is anybody here with
nothing.
me right now? What was that? What?
Ooh, that kind of sounded like the same person, though. That's kind of weird.
I
Unless
can't
it's
understand you. Can you say that again? Downstairs.
this one's kind of tough because
Why are you
like
down
I'm not
here?
hearing words, but
Did you actually spend time down here, or is this not a prison?
the voice sounds like it could be coming from the same source.
What? Is it?
But ghosts? My word. What a waste of time.
Dude. Yeah, definitely gonna
I'm
have
coming
to
out. I think I'm good. Okay.
try the spear box myself in person.
I'm so happy. Was it? Oh, it's chill.
It's definitely the dream job though, like
cold air
It's not fun in
just
there.
getting paid a
No?
bunch of money
Shall we get out of here?
to look for ghosts.
It's not a
Dream
toy.
job.
Magical toys.
It's a tool.
It's not a toy, it's a tool.
I think you know what it is.
You sure?
Should we leave? Yeah. Want to pick that up? Oh, you son of a bitch. I stepped over it. Wait for me. Don't leave me down here.
Bye! There's no denying the Viaduct Tavern's front row seat to London's dark history. And even the history of the tavern itself would lend itself to a potential haunting. All things considered, there's no telling what spirits may walk through the tavern doors to mingle with the living. But in the end, whether or not Viaduct Tavern is definitively haunted will remain unsolved.
Unsolved. Yeah, I'm pretty juiced for their new little thing they're doing in September. What's next?
Hey Ryan, I like your shirt.
Thanks, I like yours too.
Thanks, buy it here.
It's yeah, boy.
Embrace your villainy. Don't love me no more.
Well, there it is. Colchester Castle.
Is this your first castle?
This is my first
Is
castle.
this your
Same.
first castle?
It's very imposing from the
This is
outside. I do love
truly
it.
an
Dude, it's
imposing
fucking
castle.
gorgeous.
It really is a
You
character.
guys
in
are
itself.
fucking lucky to be there.
There's a little tree growing on the top of the roof.
My goodness.
Spooky castle. That's every investigator's dream.
Yeah.
Literally.
And now we're about to live it.
We're turning into Scooby-Doo.
Yes,
We're
the
just becoming, we need
goals.
a van with flowers.
Scooby-Doo
all
is
over it. How does
goals.
this? I've never entered. You don't knock, do you?
Knock, knock. The boys are here.
Oh.
Ruh-roh. Okay.
Good creep.
This week on BuzzFeed Unsolved, we investigate Colchester Castle in Colchester, England, as part of our ongoing investigation into the question, are ghosts real? This castle has a rich history down even to the foundation, so there's no telling how many spirits remain trapped within the walls.
Thousands.
Maybe.
I don't think so.
If you look at the history, that may actually be more on the nose than you thought.
All right. Well,
Maybe.
we're gonna see 1,000 ghosts tonight. Any less, and that's a failure.
Colchester is the oldest recorded town in Britain and Britain's first Roman capital. Colchester is also said to be full of haunted locations, but perhaps
Lit.
atop them
Putting it
all
on the
is
list right now.
Colchester Castle. Even as early as the late 1930s, a man decided to spend the night locked in the castle to win a bet of £200 after entering at 8 p.m. Only 2 hours later, a person was spotted yelling
They
and
drugged
waving their
him before
arms
he
on
went
the
and
roof of
had
the
to have.
castle
You
by
ain't just
people on
scared
High
like
Street.
that.
He was taken to Severall's Hospital after being sedated and reportedly passed away a few months later, having never regained sanity.
Maybe there was some other stuff going on with them. I feel like maybe he ate some moldy bread or something.
Right? You feel me, bro?
Number one.
That's what happened to those people.
Actually, so here's Shane's
Yeah.
starter kit. If you want to be a Shaniac, here's your
Eat some
starter
moldy
kit.
bread.
You gotta be fond of wind. You gotta love squeaky shoes.
Well,
Moldy bread.
Sure.
Boom, boom, boom. You're a Shaniac now.
Between the years of 54 AD and 60 AD, the Roman Temple of Claudius was built on the spot that Colchester Castle now stands. Around 61 AD, the temple was sacked, and the town was burnt to the ground by legendary Briton rebel Queen Boudica. Colchester Castle has a vaulted Roman basement that can still be visited today. It is here that some have reported seeing the apparition of a Roman soldier.
Alright, down to the vaults
I
we
mean,
go.
Whoa. Steep.
Yeah,
that looks fire.
This is where they came down. The excavation site.
Really haven't done much with it.
Well, I mean, what do you want? It was a foundation. What do you want them to do?
Put a pool table down here.
Yeah,
Put a pool
you want them to turn
table
this into a
down
billiards club? Something. Christmas tree.
A little pinball machine.
Shit, maybe.
Jukebox.
You might get them
No.
ghosts out here
Wait.
a little more.
Do you hear that?
Did I hear what? So can
Wait.
What?
It's
Oh.
definitely something. I mean, I could.
We have different ideas of things that are definitely.
I really
something.
thought that was one of
Yeah, I
them
think you
saying,
could-
shh.
I mean, I could see you saying this is like someone.
That sounds alarmingly similar to what.
Super close,
Yeah,
right?
but none of us are doing that.
Okay.
I'm serious. They came from over there. Oh, don't. Not even a little bit of concern on his face. Hello?
Not even a little bit.
Hello? Anybody down here with us? in this
Shane.
creepy little hole?
Hashtag unconcerned.
Are we alone? You're an idiot.
There's nothing here.
Yeah.
Perfect
I told you.
opportunity
I
to
didn't
stick
get
your arm in
spider
there
webs in
and
my
get
hair.
pretend took.
You did. Look at you. You look like Dr. Henry Jones.
Hey, another room that looks just like this one.
You look ridiculous with that cobweb in your hair.
It's still in there?
Let me get that out.
Thank you. Did you eat it?
It went in my mouth. You just tasted history.
That's probably been down here for hundreds of years.
Yeah, I
You
know.
just tasted
You could have told
history.
me you had so much in your hair. I thought it was just a cobweb.
I can't see
There
the
was a
top.
whole pile
I
of
can
rubble.
see the top of my
hair. I
head.
don't know.
No one could see the top of your head except God.
Skipping forward a little over 1,000 years, we arrive at the start of construction on Colchester Castle, which lasted 50 years. When completed, it became the largest and first Norman-built great keep. The castle, which is considered one of the 7 man-made wonders in eastern England, predates even the Tower of London. In fact, Colchester Castle served as the blueprint for the Tower of London. The castle's purpose was twofold. First, to protect against Scandinavian attack by the sea, and second, to monitor and assert power over the town.
Definitely gotta go there before it dies.
Skipping ahead to the 1200s, the castle was used as a prison, sometimes for hundreds of prisoners of war, and the conditions were remarkably poor.
So these are the great stairs. Anybody of importance would use this entrance to go see the king, or maybe the king himself would even go up these.
These are the fancy stairs.
The fancy boy stairs.
Oh, we're fancy boys.
We're the fancy boys. And look at that. That's a witchcraft symbol. That's to prevent witches, not to conjure them.
I have a lot of accomplished artists here back in the day.
It's on stone. Give them a break. Watch your step. Well, I guess for normal people, these are big steps. For you, these are...
Yeah, you could take your
Normal
little
steps.
steps on the inside.
Yeah, I'll do that. And you take your
And I'll take
giant
my-
steps on the outside.
My big steps over here.
Okay. I know a lot of important people were walking up this staircase, and I gotta tell you, 2 very unimportant people are now at the top of it. How do you guards feel about that?
Couple of schmoes up here.
Couple of American schmucks.
Yeah,
Yankee
that's right.
schmucks.
We're both dipshits.
I'm one of the stupidest
least
people
you know.
to ever walk the earth, and I made it up your staircase.
Yeah.
He's even dumber than me.
That's not. How dare you?
How dare you?
It's a bit. I didn't mean it.
Okay. Yes, I'm dumber than
sorry.
him.
I meant it.
You son of a bitch. This is classic castle door. Look at this thing.
Oh, I think that may go to the roof. No longer for access.
At this moment, our audio recorder picks up what sounds like a woman singing.
Yeah, I mean, this is classic castle door. Look at this thing.
Oh, I think that may go to the roof. No longer for access. It changes pitches.
Yeah, it does.
So it's not a creaky door.
What's the correlation there?
What's the correlation? We're in a castle and we're hearing a woman singing. That's what the correlation is, and there's nobody in the castle that could be singing. I think that's pretty strong. Is this not?
Yeah,
I know you normally harp on how EVPs are strange or like not very compelling, like they're words that you can't really make out. This is pretty crazy. Like when you consider it in the gamut of what I've offered before, I think this is,
Sure.
clearly the weirdest one we've gotten.
It's a weird one.
It's a weird one.
That's like all he'll give him though. It's sure.
This is classic castle door. Look at this thing.
Oh, I think that may go to the roof. No longer for access.
I don't know. It sounds like it could be like a dog howling, like outside or something. It could literally be anything. It always could be anything. It's hard
Video
to.
would be great. There's no correlation here. There's nothing. I know you're gonna do your thing.
Yeah.
I'm Jim on The Office, and I believe in ghosts.
Okay, well. Moving to 1648, Colchester Castle became connected to the Second English Civil War between the Royalist Cavaliers and the Parliamentarian Roundheads.
Roundheads is a little. That's what heads are, though.
That's a good point. That's just like saying heads.
Yeah.
Right.
Or hole butts. Well, we call ourselves that because we've got a little hole between our two butt cheeks. Well, yes, sir, everyone does. Well, then we'll call ourselves the Roundheads. All right, I don't think you get it.
The Roundheads would eventually prevail, executing the Royalist leaders Sir George Lisle and Sir Charles Lucas on the grounds of Colchester Castle.
Lisle
Today,
and Lucas.
an obelisk marks the spot of their execution, where it's said that grass will not grow.
Behold, we found the obelisk.
All hail the obelisk. So where's this grass? It doesn't grow.
Is this it?
No, this is just dirt on top of pavement. I bet if you put grass seed on this, you'd be fine.
No.
No?
In 1656, the castle would welcome perhaps its most famous specter, a man named James Parnell. Parnell was a Quaker praying in Coggles Hall Church.
Not
when
a Quaker.
An altercation broke out. He was accused with blasphemy and charged £40. After his refusal to pay, he was imprisoned in the castle dungeon. During his time in prison, his jailer would make him climb a rope to reach the small amount of food they offered him. He eventually had a bad fall from this routine, most likely due to a poor diet and bad treatment. Parnell would eventually die as a result on April 10th, 1656, and was buried on castle grounds in an unmarked grave. It's said that Parnell haunts the castle dungeon, close to the eastern wall.
All right, we're gonna use a tool here that you may be able to use to speak to us.
This is gonna seem very jarring to you.
Shit's loud.
All right. Is there anybody here with us right now? I'm not getting anything. It sounds like a nightmare.
It really does. James, is this how you saw your ghost life turning out?
Talking to two idiots?
Probably.
He said no.
Was that you or is that something else? Would you like me to turn it off, James?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What a moment. James probably feels vindicated, thanks to you and your screaming radio.
Moving forward, in 1835, the castle's use as a prison ceased, and in 1860, the castle became a museum. It is still a museum today.
They were on top of it. They need a museum for the museum.
Damn.
100 years from now, they're going to have museums about all the museums that we saw in our lifetime.
Yeah, they may even be like
Dead
100
ass.
years before now. Two royal jackasses sat in this spot and
Looking for
carelessly
ghosts.
talked about history.
You think they're going to have like wax figures of us?
Yeah, one of them will have a 8-foot round head.
Okay,
Yep.
all right.
Yeah.
And one of them will be this chair, but it'll be giant, and it'll say, if you sit in this chair, you'll feel the same, like you're the same size as Ryan Bergara, the littlest man of the 21st
Well, with a wax
century.
figure, they could just take this normal chair and put a little, like, doll here.
Yeah.
Anybody here with us?
They could.
Anybody in this museum at all that wants to speak to us?
Oh, do you feel strong?
I feel like a strong man. I never feel like a strong man.
I know. Jesus, man. You need to bring one of these everywhere you go.
Yeah, if they throw something at me now, I am protected. You would think a place of such history, loaded with trigger objects, there'd be just this place would just be bursting at the seams with spirits.
You would think.
that, right?
Shut up. Speaking of trigger objects, those are legitimate helmets.
Well, I mean, come on.
Right.
We've been given a
This
gift.
is about as authentic as it gets, because these are...
I'll wear this one. You wear the...
Okay.
Oh man, it is so heavy.
Is it really?
Yeah. We were about to die. Salute you. You look like you have the biggest head I've ever seen. You look like you have a cone head.
This is like a thimble on an apple.
Yeah.
Anybody here?
Legit.
We hear people see you. Want to see if it's true.
They gotta catch something.
I'm scanning
at
like a
some
mile,
point,
like a
right?
madman right now. I'm trying to...
What are
Right?
you hoping to see?
A ghost.
A ghost?
Nobody? Could you say something to me right here? Close? I'll hear it later.
He'll listen to it over and over again. Every night
Over
before he
and
goes to
over.
sleep.
All right.
Still
moving
cool.
on.
I mean, like,
This castle is also said to be
to
home
walk
to
around
a
the
ghost
castle
cat, perhaps due to the
day
fact
and
that
night,
Romans would
it doesn't
entomb
matter.
dead cats in their walls as a sign of good luck.
They're lucky they get to be
Another
there by
spirit that's said to
themselves.
haunt the castle is the ghost of a headless nun. In addition to reports of
feel like
disembodied cries, there's an area in the castle
headless
that
nun
once functioned as a chapel.
doesn't really
Perhaps
fall
we'll
in line,
find her
right?
there.
Who chopped a nun's head off?
Yeah, that's a good question. Why would you chop a nun's head off?
There's no story behind it?
Well, I mean, like, a lot of people were anti-religion back in the day.
You just chop a nun's head off?
Yeah.
I don't agree with this.
Oh, you think that was too much? Do you think that's where they drew the line? After they were tarring and feathering people,
I thought
taking
they were
their limbs
I
off?
guess I just thought they were chill with nuns. You gotta be a bad guy to chop a nun's head off.
chill with nuns.
Is there anybody in here with us right now?
Or was that maybe the nun without a head? Well, she couldn't hear us.
Yeah.
So never mind.
So, never mind. She doesn't have ears, Shane.
Is that Morse code?
Hello?
Maybe.
What the fuck? If you're a ghost, please tap on the window. Yeah.
Do you not like us sitting in your church?
We know a lot of demons. Some of them like to follow us. We may have brought some with us.
Yeah, Shane, if anyone's bringing demons, it's fucking you.
What is wrong with you? Oh fuck! Wait.
Wait a second. No.
Did you just see your reflection?
No.
What?
I'm gonna go see what it is.
A light of some sort outside? So that's what it looked like anyway. It looked like, I don't know, not a ghost.
What the fuck is that? There's not a tree out here, that's for sure.
It's like a flag out there.
Whew, boy, that scared the shit out of me at first, though.
Sure did.
One excerpt of dark history I skipped over occurred in the late 1600s. During that time, Essex, the county where Colchester is located, was known as the, quote, witching county of Britain, end quote. Essex saw more witches executed during this time than any of the other UK counties. Matthew Hopkins, who dubbed himself the, quote, Witchfinder General, end quote, was responsible for rooting out suspected witches and interrogating them. Because Hopkins could not explicitly torture suspected witches, he would subject them to forced standing and sleep deprivation.
You know, it's just never a good sign when you give yourself a nickname.
Right.
You know he was walking around town going like, yeah, you know me, the Witchfinder General.
Do you think he had one, like he made himself a fake honorary Witchfinder General badge? And he like wore it really, like proudly shines it every day.
And what a brave guy, by the way, making him stand.
Yeah, I could see him there just with this little weird smile on his face.
Poking him with a stick. Oh, you look like you're ready for a sit.
Yeah, that guy was a dick.
Colchester Castle was the site of many interrogations, and between 1645 and 1647, it was used to imprison over 200 accused women. Many suspected witches perished from jail fever while imprisoned at the castle, most before even going to trial. Today, those dungeons still remain, waiting for visitors. So, to finish this out, let's visit the dungeons, individually, to see if any will communicate with us.
This is the witch dungeon.
Not the witch dungeon.
Necessary. That's what it's called. Yeah, I'm just saying they were probably weak.
Look, there he is right
feeble.
there.
Who's that?
Matthew Hopkins.
The Witchfinder General.
So cringe.
Good door. They really knew how to make spooky doors back then.
Oh yeah, professional spooky doors.
So I figure we'll just lock ourselves in here one by one and try and see if we could talk to some people.
Okay.
I'm gonna use a spirit box. I'm guessing you're not gonna use that.
I'm done with the spirit box.
I'm done
If
with
there's
the
anyone
spirit
here,
box, Ryan.
please reach out. I've given you a fairly high quality microphone to speak into.
At this moment, our camera catches a white orb moving away from Shane's body.
So you've resorted to orbs now.
No.
Yes.
No.
You've resorted to
Okay,
orbs.
I'm not an orb guy. Here's the thing. If I'm gonna say this is a monumental piece of paranormal evidence, no, I'm not. But I'm gonna say that if
It
orbs
looks
are
there.
indeed real, then this might be an orb because it looks a little different than dust or bugs, which I've seen a lot of. It's moving in a certain way that, to me, would suggest that maybe it's an orb. I'm not saying it definitively is an orb.
So
This is just something that some people might find interesting. So you can wipe that stupid grin off your face and just enjoy it. Enjoy that juicy orb.
I'm gonna enjoy this orb.
You take a bite out of it, it's delicious.
Dust.
Yeah, I don't know. I
I
just don't know
cannot
about
tell you
that.
how much I hate the spirit box. And frankly, I get it. I wouldn't want to talk to Ryan either. Not when he's coming in here, all wide-eyed, sweaty. But if you are real, I invite you to really, he's going to be in here after me. He looks a little bit like me, but shave off 4 feet. And you'll see him come in. Just keep your eyes near the ground. You'll see him. Oh, God.
Good introduction, Shane.
Just even sitting here sucks. Can you imagine sleeping on this floor? It's awful.
At this moment, our camera catches an orb similar to the one seen in Shane's lockdown, moving towards my body.
Are you suggesting that it planted itself
No, I'm not.
inside
I'm
your
not.
person?
I'm not saying that it's trying to Voltron with my spirit.
This is why you're an orb guy.
No,
'cause
no.
Now you got an orb in you.
That's what it is.
You got orbs in your brain.
I've consumed the orb, and now it's manning the controls in my brain.
Yeah, you're pushing the orb agenda.
It's
Freaking
moving me
Plankton
around
and
like a little
SpongeBob,
robot
man.
Ryan.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is just like the last one, and this one even more so. It's moving in a way that's a little different than dust and bugs that I've seen
It's
in the past.
not moving in a way that
I
dust
think
or
it
bugs
is. It's
don't.
very prominent.
How is that not dust-like? Floating slowly in a downward
Okay, but
trajectory.
where's the rest of the dust then?
Here we go.
What about the other dust particles in the room?
All right, it's about to get really
A
loud
bug
in
is
here.
more plausible because bugs, fly solo.
Is there anybody here with me right now? Is there anybody here with me right now that wants to say anything? Any accused witches? What is your name? Is there anybody in here? Can you tell me your name? Selena. My name's Ryan. Can you say Ryan back to me? I'm gonna turn off my box now. Oh God, it's so much worse in here when it's silent like this. Okay, time's up. I'm done with this. And if you're in here, Matthew, you can go fuck yourself. Goodbye, whoever was in there.
For
If there
sure.
was anybody.
You tell him.
You'll be happy to know that the boys are gone.
Yeah, we're leaving you now. Hope you've had a good time with us.
Should we close the door? Keep them in?
No, let them run free.
The fuck's
You'd
the
be
door
just
gonna
as
do?
bad as the jailer then.
I don't know, well, if it was...
For real.
Colchester Castle has been conquered by the Ghouligans.
The Ghouligans?
That's us.
The
Is this a new thing?
Ghouligans.
We're the Ghouligans.
I'm into that.
Yeah.
We killed every
for
last
sure.
ghost at this
We didn't
museum.
kill them.
Yes, we
That's
did.
not what we do. That's not what the Ghouligans are about.
Yeah.
You know what? You're off the Ghouligans. You're off the team.
I am the team.
I am the team.
Towering over the historic town of Colchester, Colchester Castle remains, waiting for those to investigate the mysteries trapped within its walls. It's unclear how many spirits remain shackled in the dungeons of this powerful castle, but our experiences tonight can attest to the notion that there's quite a few. Still, whether or not Colchester Castle is definitively haunted will remain unsolved.
I definitely gotta visit that place before I die. Top 10 for sure. Scotland though.
Thanks, I like yours too. Thanks.
Scotland's on the list. I feel like I don't know if it would make a difference, but I would want to like utilize
Well, I gotta say, it
elements
doesn't
and
really
stuff
get more
while
than this. We got the
you're trying to
cobblestones,
like
the
break the
dimly lit
dimensional
lights.
barriers and speak to ghosts.
And then right here we have the catacombs,
You know, like
London tombs that
earth,
center the bustling city of London.
water, wind, fire.
And they aren't shying away from it. Look at that.
Yeah, very theatrical.
It is
Right.
a tourist attraction now. That's a haunted maze, but it does sit
It-
atop.
it is-
a
it's a
bit of
haunted
history that's very
maze.
genuine.
Ah, let's have a peek at the tombs of
Okay.
London.
Yeah, just get on with it.
All right.
This week on BuzzFeed Unsolved, we investigate London tombs as part of our ongoing investigation into the question, are ghosts real? These tombs
Are
are
ghosts
not
real?
the most pleasant, as you can see, and they have some pretty gruesome history.
Production value here is through the roof.
Yeah, I mean, it is a haunted attraction.
This is sort of
True
a
dat.
funny location, huh?
It's a fun house built on top of a historical atrocity.
Okay, well, that's one way to do it, I guess.
That being said, let's get into it.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Deep beneath the earth at the foot of London Bridge lie catacombs now referred to as the London Tombs. It's unclear how old these catacombs are, but the bridge itself dates back to ancient Roman times, and a brief look into London's tragic history may provide an answer. In the city's history, there have been several deadly epidemics. Mass graves known as plague pits were made across the city to accommodate the magnitude of the deaths, during which hundreds of bodies were quickly buried without coffins or ceremonies.
That's fair.
They were
You know, yeah, I mean, you look back at that, you
diseased.
could say, oh, that's so inhumane, but if this person's flesh is decomposing off their face while they're still alive.
Yeah. That was a bad thing. You gotta get rid of those bodies as quick as you can.
As
Yeah,
quick
burn
as you
them. They're
can.
like,
Like,
what?
I'm
Throw 'em in a
so
volcano,
sorry
I don't
that your
care.
If I had
brother,
flesh falling
cousin,
off my face, I would
father
expect you to put a bullet in my head.
died, but like, dude,
But don't you have to be
gotta-
You wouldn't even have to ask, buddy.
If you
gotta
didn't
handle
have flesh
business,
falling off your
man.
face at all, I'd still put a bullet in your head.
For what reason? Wait, you're saying you would shoot me in
Moving
the head?
on.
What the
he
fuck?
talks about killing Shane a
The
lot.
worst plagues in human history,
I don't know. I could see
referred
how
to
he thinks
as the
Shane
Black
deserves it,
Death,
but still.
occurred in Europe between 1347 and 1351 and killed an estimated 1.5 million Britons, a staggering number when you consider that was about a third of Britain's population at the time. In 1665, another outbreak of the bubonic plague devastated the city, now known as the Great Plague of London. The disease ultimately claimed as many as 100,000 lives, roughly a fifth of London's population.
What a chunk.
dude.
This was no joke.
What a chunk.
There's a reason why they called it the Great Plague.
Oh, this is great, man.
No,
you should have been there for that plague.
No, it wasn't like
Kicked ass. That thing was a hell of a plague.
Shame.
Yeah, T-voted.
I don't have any family left.
Between these two outbreaks, there's no telling how many plague pits are littered throughout the city. It's actually a popular urban myth that the
Probably
famous
so
London
many.
Underground subway system was designed in its meandering route so as to avoid the plague pits.
Yeah, probably not true.
Fun to imagine a train weaving around a bunch of dead people.
Just plowing through a pile of bones. Oh, don't worry, those are old bones.
Can't go this way, too much bones.
We got bones on the track again. I'm from London.
Records from John Stow's 1598 survey of London suggest that up to 150,000 bodies had been buried throughout London in plague pits. Evidence of these mass graves have been discovered throughout various points in history. As recently as 2013, a pit of 14 bodies was discovered in Farringdon's Charterhouse Square by engineers working on London's Crossrail project.
14.
That's
Kinda
still
chump change. I know that's 14 human lives, but
chump change.
I mean, when you're saying they buried 150,000, you'd at least expect it.
Not in
100
one
people.
giant pit. I mean, like a cross.
Yeah, I know, but 14.
Enough people in one
Okay,
pit,
put
though.
it
Like,
this way: how often are we digging up somewhere for a new development in Los Angeles and go, "Oh, there's 14 bones here," or "There's
Well,
14 piles of bones"?
You know, we're a young country. I'm sure in 100 years there'll be a lot of us buried in holes that they'll find mass graves. You know.
That's not how it works, man.
Yeah, we're gonna go through some stuff. I feel it coming.
Jesus, you're an anarchist. Oh God.
This dark history takes us to the London tombs we sit in tonight. Prior to becoming a tourist attraction, the tombs had been sealed for decades. Excavations to build the attraction began as early as 2007 by brothers Lee and Danny Scriven of Kent.
the amount of
project
people that have
was
died
said
on
to
this
cost
planet
over
since
2
the
million
beginning of time.
pounds. During its excavation, they claimed, quote,
There's gotta be a
hundreds
ghost
of bodies were
in
uncovered
literally
in the
like
plague
every
pit,
square
end
inch
quote,
of
where the tomb
everywhere
is
on the
located.
planet.
According to BBC reports,
You know what I
after,
mean?
quote, skeletons were found in a sealed vault in the basement, end quote, the builders refused to work on site alone. Shortly after, a second, quote, Hall of Bones, end quote, was found under concrete, which was said to have, quote, intensified the spooky activities, end quote.
A Hall of Bones. I like that.
I mean, this is serious, man. They found a shitload of bones in here.
Yeah, as you would.
Police pathologists reportedly dated the bones to the mid-17th century, which lead to their leading theory that the remains had indeed been plague victims. With this gruesome revelation, it's no wonder the construction workers experienced strange activity after disturbing the bodies of the site. Workers would report disappearing tools and strange noises. They witnessed a
How much of it
mysterious
is
surge where
psychosomatic,
over
though,
a
you know,
dozen
like-
light bulbs had blown, despite the new working electrical system. Some reported feeling as if someone was watching them. Perhaps most horrifyingly, those who have visited since have claimed to experience hideous visions, seen sinister faces suspended in midair, and felt violent
The
poltergeist
mind is
attacks.
a crazy thing
With
on
that
its
in
own.
mind, let's take a glimpse at the current status of the underground tombs we sit in tonight. As mentioned before, these tombs are now an attraction, a maze filled with scare actors and sets to scare thrill-seeking tourists. But tonight, this labyrinth of rooms sits vacant, ready for us to find what bits of history refuse to leave.
There's a little skeleton man in that train.
Okay.
Yeah, that's kind of fun.
So this is not very serious, any of this.
I mean, it's
right?
an attraction, you know,
This
like
is what we're in for tonight? We're in for this?
I don't know.
it's a spooky
I have no
attraction,
idea.
Shane. Give it some
They-
credit.
They do have great respect for their dead here in England.
You can see it's kind of a nightmare. There's dolls everywhere. It kind of brings us back to Spider Island or
Spider
Behind the
Island.
Dolls.
Yeah, I feel home.
I feel like we're in that shed again. And just like that, there's one marquee doll.
There's what?
Oh.
Oh!
This is the doll that a psychic apparently hates and won't
Okay.
enter here.
I guess that's par for the course, though. I'm actually pretty impressed with how awful a lot of these look. That one's in a cage. That baby's in a cage.
We gotta cage it up.
A bad baby.
Otherwise, it'll
Put it
run
in a
amok.
cage.
As you can see, I've placed all my equipment in her lap.
Yes.
So, let's do it. Cover your ears.
Oh, this, okay.
We're back. Here we are.
Can you say hello?
Oh shit!
Because that one was pretty close to hello.
Can you say either of our names? It's Ryan and Shane.
What? Who's in this room? Where are you right now?
Every time you hear a voice, you go, and then it's almost as if your brain a half a second later realizes, oh, then nothing of value was said.
Well, it sounded like it said here.
Didn't say here.
It said here, it sounded like. But once again,
Yeah,
I agree with you
I don't
that one. Can we at least agree that one word doesn't mean much?
No.
Okay, but if it's two words, we're coming back at you.
You there. Why don't you talk? Huh?
Yeah, what about
You
you?
got something to say?
Chester
You
Man,
look like
got
you got something to say.
You
How about you?
there? Your face got burned. Why don't you talk?
How about you, Headless Bride? You got something to say? Oh, you, Farmer John, overall boy.
Do any of you have anything to say to us?
Come on. There's got to be one soul in here that Jesus Christ, what in the name of Christ is that?
It's a demon baby.
It's a freaking exorcist baby.
We were just looking at those in spirit. They're kind of lit.
Headless troll doll.
Speak to us. Say something crazy.
That one looked like she about
lose his
to
mind.
rock you, Shane. Calm down.
Come on. On with it.
Bop.
Come on.
I would pay thousands of dollars for ghosts to be real, just so we could stop doing this 2 minutes earlier.
What did you think that said?
I think it said.
One room in the maze, referred to as the Brown Room, is said to play host to a shadowy figure that lurks in the dark corners of the room.
Apparently this is the beginning room of the maze.
This is sort of a class. Oh, hello, sir.
This is usually where they see a shadow man in here, in the back corners.
At this moment, our audio recorder picks up what sounds like a distant female scream.
In the back corners.
This used to be the tomb.
Yeah.
Nope,
I mean,
I didn't hear it.
This whole area right here.
Well, there's this. They excavated.
This is the tomb.
They excavated the whole site, and there was one room in particular where most of the bones were. This was not it.
Okay.
But this whole site as a whole was like all part of an underground system.
It's just weird that they turned it into a haunted mansion.
Right.
Let's reach out. Maybe that's a weasel.
That is it was a weasel, a badger, wolverine. I don't know what the hell that is.
Sure, I'm not a zoologist. All right.
Okay. Oh, there's another weasel.
This guy loved weasels.
Don't call it the weasel. Don't call it the brown room.
This
Call
is
it
the weasel room.
This is
Yeah.
the weasel room.
Oh, good.
England's famed weasel room. Ooh, he's reaching for the bottle.
Reaching for the gin.
Wouldn't you be?
He's about to close a big. What are you? You about to make out with the doll?
I can smell it on your breath. What do we got reports of in this room?
Standard fare, whispers, but mainly it's the prominent figure of a shadow person standing back over there.
I get tired of hearing about shadow people.
Is that so?
Yeah, I
it
think
might as
so.
well be like a coat on a coat rack, you know?
At this moment, our audio recorder picks up a whispering voice.
Coat rack, you know?
Okay, that one sounded
I'm
a
gonna
little
give you the floor right now. If you want to
tiny
say
bit
anything, or you
closer
want to let us know that you're here.
perhaps
we could turn
being
our light
a
off.
voice.
Would you
But-
like us to turn our lights off? Then it's all shadow. Then everything is the shadow man.
How do you separate shadow?
Then
from
we're shadow men.
Holy shit!
Now it's
It's
dark.
dark as
Well,
freak
now
in
that it
there.
may be easier for you to focus on us, do you have anything to say? I'm going to give you a minute.
We can't see you now, so apparently this is the best time for a ghost to do something when it can't be recorded. So here's your moment.
All right, we're about to leave. I'm going to turn my light on. Over in the corner now.
Ooh, swing and a miss.
In addition to plagues, some of England's more violent history actually took place roughly above the tomb's rim tonight. As early as the 13th century, England sometimes punished traitors to the crown by hanging, drawing, and quartering. This process, among other horrible things, would include pulling somebody's limbs off, possibly with horses, and finishing with decapitation. The heads would be placed on the pikes of Traitor's Gate, a gate that sat on an older incarnation of London Bridge.
Mike Tyson. Another word. Race your villainy. Don't love me no more.
Chill. That's fair, I think.
Totally chill.
I mean, treason's a,
You're right. Treason's bad.
I just
Let's
feel
have a
like-
horse pull you in from land.
Right,
Again,
and then your
we
head on
sort
the
of
stick.
covered this, but they didn't have a lot to
They
do back
seem
then.
so
So you're
extra.
telling
Right.
me that
Right,
if
they
you
didn't have a lot to
have,
do back then, so.
Netflix, you would resort to cutting people's heads off and putting them on
res-
funny little sticks.
Okay, now, if I'm reading a book,
They're
and
not
I'm like,
funny
this is
sticks,
the height
Ryan.
of entertainment, someone said, well, they're gonna pull someone apart into 4 little pieces outside, just slap 4 horses on the ass and watch them come apart. I'd probably just put my little bookmark in, close it, put my shoes on, and go outside to the town
Yeah,
square. What's
fun.
wrong with that?
Lots of things. I could
Lots
think
of
of several
things,
things
Shane.
off the top of
I'm
my
putting
head.
myself in historical context here. Nowadays, I probably wouldn't, but
I probably wouldn't. I'd think about it.
60% chance I'm saying no to that.
That is
Some famous heads that once sat
kinda
on
real
these
close
pikes
there, Shane.
included the head of Catholic conspirator Guy Fawkes, Oliver Cromwell, and Scottish freedom fighter and Braveheart himself, William Wallace. That being said, one detail I withheld regarding the remains found in the tombs we're exploring tonight was that some of the skulls found had holes in them, suggesting that some of the grotesque mounted heads that were once prominently displayed for the London public found a home down here in the London tombs. In fact, a
Makes
medium
sense.
that visited the tombs, aside from claiming to sense hundreds of tortured souls, also sensed the aforementioned Guy Fawkes.
All right. That's kind of
Or Guy Fawkes.
I don't know how to
F-A-W-K-E-S.
I thought it was Fox.
I think Fox. This guy Fox.
This... Did you have that ready to go? No. Oh, damn. This is good.
Perhaps this violent history could explain the many dark figures that roam the hallways. Using laser technology, perhaps we'll be able to pick up movement.
perhaps.
So, in this hallway, they would give tours. The tour guide would be standing right here, and they'd pan down this hallway. And they, at one point, a tour guide said they saw a man just standing at the back over here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
There are a lot of hanging things in that hallway. You don't think the shadows could maybe play with someone's imagination?
only one way to find out. So I want to put the laser grid over there so that we could see any movement. That way we'll be able to discern whether it's something moving or if it really is just shadows playing tricks on somebody.
Right.
It's,
Wasn't very productive last time.
Well, it's not going to be
more
productive
likely
every time.
than not.
You got to remember, once again,
Some
capturing
shadows.
an apparition or something physically manipulating our world is like catching lightning in a bottle.
That's the holy grail.
Yeah, it's not going to happen every time.
Or anytime.
Or anytime.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Let's initiate the grid.
I want to see Shane sit down with like the most prominent ghost photos ever taken and like, you know, give his real opinion on it.
Oh,
That's fun, huh?
I enjoy that. All right, to the man who stands at the back of this hallway, who are you? Why are you here? Can you move?
Kind
for
of
us?
makes me dizzy
Can
looking
you
at
move
it.
something? Could you move one of those pieces of clothing that's hanging?
While changing our batteries on our equipment, we heard loud footsteps down the hall.
Record.
We quickly turned everything on, but only caught the tail end of the noises.
I'm such a firm believer in raccoon. How do I know that's not a raccoon or a rat?
Hello? I don't know if our mic was recording, but
Humans
something
are
was
like
definitely
oblivious
moving
to
down
the
there.
thought of everything else that lives around them.
I heard that down there too.
Hello?
They're gonna be mad when that big ass raccoon jumps out at them.
Jesus, this is fucked up.
Or a possum, you know?
You did hear that though, right? That was pretty loud.
It was very loud.
sounded like footsteps. On this wood, because this, look, it wasn't this, right?
No.
Hello? Hello? Oh, come on. Oh, fucking good lord. Oh. We're in the Jack the Ripper room.
Ooh.
Hello?
He's my favorite.
They hate that.
It's true.
I don't know what that was.
You
All right,
never
let's go
know.
back.
They
That
could
was-
hate it.
Sorry, man. You almost had it. Evidence of a ghost.
Pretty much our sound recorder was off. All of our equipment was off because we were changing batteries. And of course, in that moment, we hear the footsteps.
Convenient. Very convenient.
Yeah. I knew you were going to say that. And that's probably what most of the Shaniacs and skeptics are thinking out there. And frankly, I know that looks
Convenient.
bad. It pisses me off. We catch just the beginning of it, just like, but I'm wrestling with the EVP, so it kind of like overpowers the footsteps in the dark. Record.
Again, it could be 100,000 things before it's a ghost. It could be one of us rubbing against something. It could be, someone on the crew making a noise.
A raccoon.
I'd love to hear a ghost say something ghostly.
Yeah, for sure.
I'd love to see a ghost. I'd love to see any evidence of anything at all.
Maybe the most active room in the tombs is a room referred to as the Roman Room. In this room, staff have claimed to see the apparition of a little girl named Emily, dressed in clothing, perhaps from
Always
either
a
of
little
the
girl
great
named Emily,
plagues. But
Lily,
what's most
Sally.
horrifying is the possible explanation for her frequent appearances in this room. According to current staff, a majority of the bones discovered during construction were actually found one floor below this room.
Maybe we'll see her tonight.
I'm sure you will.
Well, what if you see her? Then what are you going
If
to
I
say?
see her, then I'll believe in ghosts forever.
You heard it here
Forever.
first. This is your chance, Emily, to make history, to end the show.
You know how boring this show would be if I was as insane as you?
Yeah.
I'm not insane. I just believe a different truth than you.
But it would just be two people being like, I'm scared, and the other one being, and I'm even scarier.
That's every ghost show in existence.
It literally,
Is it
that's
really?
every ghost show in
So
existence.
right now we have motion lights at the
Biggins.
foot of that door, foot of this door, and where the spirit of the little girl is seen.
You alright, man?
I saw something over there.
What? You gotta collect
Anyways,
yourself.
if something passes those, we're gonna see it.
Yourself.
Who are we reaching out to here, like Romans?
No, that's just because it's Roman thing doesn't mean there's actually Romans in
Oh,
this.
this is not.
I mean, you don't
Just
know.
remember,
You don't know that.
the backdrop of this place.
This guy looks like such a fucking sad sack. Why are you bothering me?
Alright, whoever's in here, can you say your name? Can you say why you're here? Is there anybody in here with us right now? Emily, are you here? Is that even your name, or did they just give you that name? There is an uneasiness to this room.
You don't like it. It's pretty
You know,
quiet.
Ryan.
Yeah, why don't you do some reaching out? I did it in the last room.
Okay, so I'm talking to Emily.
Oh
or am I-
shit!
What?
That fucking light turned on.
Yeah, but it turned on right after. He moved his foot, you know.
Send money mix on. Send money as you relax. Whatever you're doing.
Maybe I moved.
No, you didn't move your arm over there.
No, I didn't. Oh, things are going tits up, Ryan.
Shut up, Shane. Could you move your foot again? Move your foot out. Move it out like you did. Left one. This one right here.
It's not turning on, Ryan.
It's
Alright,
a
I'm gonna go
ghost.
walk over to that one. Why did that turn on? And I just saw something right there.
Because you've tested these, and they have the cone of influence, if we can call it that.
It's very
pretty
tiny.
narrow.
Yeah. Let me walk over here. Yeah, I mean, look at that. I had
Yeah,
to
you
walk
got
right
pretty
here.
close there. We may have caught ourselves a ghoul, Ryan. Okay.
Just in case.
Yeah.
I wanted to leave zero doubt. This one is facing, the cone is actually smaller on this one.
Small cone. It's a small
I'm
car.
rattled. I'm going to compose myself.
All right. Gather your wits. Gather your wits.
This is going to be all over the news. Here's the thing. It's because it's not a ghost over there doing the Macarena, we're not going to have something compelling to skeptics. But it is weird that it turns on. You can see there's nothing there.
It is when I move, but I'll give it to you.
Right.
It's a ghost.
I knew you were going to say that too.
It is.
We replicated the movement. We jumped up and down.
Yeah.
Doesn't turn on.
Great, you got a ghost.
Say at least odd. Give that at least an odd.
I will give it a nod.
With plank pits and ruthless executions, there's no telling what dark history sleeps within the confines of this maze.
It's
In an
just,
attempt
you
to
know,
awaken
Shane
this
already
history,
said
we're
there's
going to finish this off by individually
100,000
walking and investigating
things that it could
the
be before it's a
entirety of
ghost.
this zigzagging nightmare.
Oh, okay. All right. I'm in. This is fucked up. This is so fucked. Okay, I'm already lost.
These, we've seen all these. I don't know if I'm supposed to stop and just take every room in, just really enjoy it.
You might as well. You're there.
We didn't spend a lot of time with this guy earlier, but I love him. These are kind of the ghosts we should be talking to. Funny train conductors.
All right. I met an old man once. His name was Father Thomas, and he told me there's nothing to be afraid of.
I mean, I won't lie, I'm very scared, but
Okay. Do not be afraid.
if anything happens, just do not be afraid. That's all you have to keep repeating. He said it a bunch of times in the Bible.
Do not be afraid. Do not be afraid.
And we progress through here. Ryan is truly going to lose his mind in here.
Once again, I met a pastor. He's a Vatican certified exorcist. And he said,
Right,
do
right.
not be afraid, because nothing can harm you, and I have nothing to fear. Do not be afraid. Do not be afraid. This is where I saw something earlier, but it's fine. My hands are shaking, and I feel like I'm about to have a nervous breakdown. Okay. Do not be afraid, Ryan.
You know, there's a certain respect for the macabre in this country that
Shane's over here
you don't
just
always
chilling,
see in other cultures.
Say it with me, Father Thomas. Come on. This is fucked up.
A lot of death in their history, and they've just got a fun way of dealing with it. I mean, look at this. Is this spectacular or what?
I can't hear you. Maybe I'll hear you later. Oh God, I heard something. Oh God, I heard something.
This is the Hall of Shadows, where you're supposed to see strange figures moving down there. I'm actually gonna walk through it in the dark. Or, wait, no, maybe I'll strobe. Yeah, that's fun.
Yeah, that's
Do
fun.
not be afraid. Do not be afraid. There's a shadow man in here, maybe. Who knows? I don't know. I'm not gonna stay and find out, because I'm not afraid. I am afraid, but
I'm not gonna
be
stay and
afraid.
find out because I'm not
Who is
afraid.
it?
Oh, ghosts? It's just me now. The one who doesn't believe in you.
It's just a maze with some mannequins. Yeah, it's a pretty fucked up situation. I know that.
It's a prime time to give me just a real good jump. Anything from you up there, sir?
No. Nothing's gonna happen to me. I'm not gonna die.
Now we're getting to the part that's a little more on the nose. We've got some hanging heads. Oh, me.
I'm here. Yeah, I'm scared of you. I'm not afraid to admit it. But you know what? I could be afraid,
You're
but it's fine.
Ryan,
Here's a big
slow down,
spider.
bro.
What am I doing? I'm fucking backing out against my aunt. I don't have anything to be afraid of. You know what? I don't have anything to be afraid of. You can't do anything to me.
What's supposed to be the
You'd think
reaction
he'd
to
learn
the
after
spider?
like
That's a big
10,
ass spider.
20
Holy
different
shit.
haunted places
Oh,
and like
come
nothing
on,
really
Clownland.
happens to
You
you.
gotta be
You'd
fucking
be a
kidding
little
me.
less afraid.
I'm not
Just
gonna
like a
pretend
little
I'm not
bit
scared of
less.
this, because I am.
Oh, I hope there's no spooky clowns. Oh, it's a clown maze, folks. We got ourselves a clown maze.
Throwing clowns in here just makes no goddamn sense. You're already spooky as it is.
Oh, this is good. This is good. Whoa, what the fuck?
This
What
looks
is
like my
this
Layers
thing?
of Fear
This
game.
is like a giant
It's
guava
pretty lit.
monster.
Do not be afraid. What was that? There was a creaky creak. Creaky creak creak.
Mondays, am I right?
Oh, look, it's the exit. Oh, if any of you fuckers try to sneak up on me, just know I'm gonna catch you on camera, and I'm gonna expose everybody to your little game. Oh, God. Seriously, sir. Why? Why? God damn it. I almost fucking kicked you in the nutsack. Alright. Fucking Christ on a crutch. Holy shit.
Yeah, I told him to check. Yeah,
I figured you did. I think we both knew that that's what happened. Don't phrase it, I told him to go check on you. Just say it how it is.
I was concerned. I wanted him to go check on you.
No, you didn't.
I didn't know he was gonna scare you.
Yeah,
Sure.
You know what you did.
Sure.
I do. Oh, thank you, Jesus Christ. Thank you, God.
How you doing?
Just having a fucking snack,
You
bro.
didn't throw up or anything though?
I
You're
felt like I was
conscious, so that's good.
Father Thomas really helped me down there,
That's
I'm not
good.
gonna lie.
I found cookies.
I found cookies.
The London Tombs sit below one of London's greatest tourist attractions, burying the misery and tragedy of London's past, away from the hustle and bustle of the city above. Based on our experience tonight, it's apparent that the
This one was
unfortunate
pretty
history
funny.
may still remain, alive and waiting. But whether or not the London Tombs are definitively haunted will remain unsolved.
Alright, well, it's been a nice semi-long stream, and I appreciate everybody that stopped in, said hello, all my lurkers out there. All the support is greatly appreciated. I will hopefully be back Friday morning. Monday, Wednesday, Fridays usually. And if you want to come hang out and figure out if ghosts are real, I'll see you guys Friday.